Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to a very bright Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Oh my gosh, I thought I could do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just too bright. This is just looking really bad, but at least it's not like, I don't know. Maybe we just turn down the whole blind and just turn on a light. That's the problem with YouTube Studio. They do not let you preview what things are going to look like until you're live. Maybe I need to get the I always forget the name of like StreamYard and all those other ones where you actually can probably adjust your settings or figure out what you're doing. But hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to a very now better lighted Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Jessica's here. Hello, hello. I did not even check my email. And those of you that maybe saw the, what do you call it? Words have been hard since I had that like sickness thing. Words, the brain fog is still very real. Okay, so we have one donation from Katie R. But those of you that may have seen the title and description earlier, well, the title, it said featuring Wrigley, but he got in a little bit of trouble because we're trying to finally maneuver our couches out of here, but we need to make sure all the random socks and silverware and dog toys are like not in the couch because we're taking the couch to the dump. So we tasked him with doing that, and he pulled all the cushions off and like got, the things that were in there, which candy wrappers and like socks, spoons, dog toys, like just the most random of things. And then he was also tasked to go under the couch, and there's books like under the couch that they kind of stuff under there so they don't have to put them away, general kids and dogs. This all the kids and dog stuff is pretty much all it was under there. But he was dilly-dallying, so he got in trouble, not from me, but my husband got, hey, you gotta get this done. And he's kind of been in that mood today where he's like on the verge of crying because the energy out here be energying, and he just couldn't take it. So so my husband's like, yeah, why don't you can go lay down for a while. If you're not feeling, up to the task, go lay down and you can do it later. So he goes in his room and falls asleep right before dinner, or probably like a half hour before dinner, maybe a little later than that. It was like an hour before dinner. So he goes and lays down and he falls asleep. So yeah. So I went in about 5:30, about a half hour ago, and I was like, hey, still doing the live stream with me? And he's like, no, I just want to go to bed. I'm like, well, dinner's ready. He's like, I'm not hungry. I'm just so tired. So I'm like this, fingers crossed he's not getting sick or something, because, oh my gosh, my husband on Friday, he started to get this flu that I had like 3 weeks ago. The kids had like a month ago at this point. It's just like, are we ever going to catch a break? But my husband, I guess, was lucky enough not to have any kind of flu before. He just had this like cough with a lot of phlegm that wouldn't really go away, but he wasn't in like he understands now what the struggle was with us this last month, because he's like, this hurts so bad. I'm like, yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Oh, I hate those, seeing the people I love in pain or sick. I just want to like make it better, and I did some healing to help things speed up. He's definitely getting over his a lot faster than I did, so that's good. Let me catch up on some comments. Amanda F is here. Hello, my dear. Katie R, hi. Kirsten, welcome back. Versha, aka Amber, she is living her authentic era and wanting to just be herself. So Versha equals Amber 9N, for those of you that remember Amber, our amazing moderator before. She's now using her real name, so that go girl, you go girl. My mom's here. Yes, I'm feeling better. The throat still does this thing from time to time, so I'm gonna try to keep us around 2 hours today, and hopefully I'll be able to keep my voice. Again, I'm not like in pain or anything. It just kind of feels raw if I talk a lot, which kids have been on spring break, husband's been sick, so like he's kind of been holed off in the room, just kind of sleeping and trying to make things happen that way. But the kids, I've been having to deal with the kids a lot, so there's a lot of talking when you got kids, is because you're constantly repeating yourself. So yeah, that's what we've been doing with that. So the voice, I've been talking a lot today. My husband's feeling better, so we are actually getting to have an adult, regular, fun conversation over dinner and like after dinner. So it's kind of nice. So yeah, we're gonna try with the voice to keep things even keel. But I got my water here, so we're good there. Tanya's here, my cousin Tanya. My mom's here. Yay. Yeah, did she ever make it to the lobby? Inside joke. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Yeah, my mom and my cousin Tanya and I all went to the Alba Weinman. It was like a meetup, and we all got to do like a group hypnosis with her too. But we all stayed in the same room and hung out together and stuff. And we would joke. Like I won't even get into the actual joke because it's kind of not appropriate. But we kept singing, "Let's all go to the lobby." You know that song they used to play before movies, like in the, I want to say 50s or 60s. It was before our time, mine and Tanya's time, probably. But it's just funny. It's just funny. That's the gist of it. You're probably still like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And you probably won't because you're missing a big piece of the bike seat of the conversation. Yeah, like I said, gross. Okay. Jess is here as well, Solar Siren. Linda's here. Hello. And Brandy Lynn, you made it. Feeling better, but again, the throat's kind of, we were talking about this a second ago. It's still kind of in and out doing its thing. So we're just going to roll with it, see what we got going on. But yeah, good to see you guys. Hi everyone joining. If you missed it, yeah, that's not Amber 9N there. I thought to remove the cloaking and claim my authentic self. Yeah, I love that so much. It's so cool. So yeah, we are gonna be doing a free 1-card poll, but we're gonna do 2 cards. We're gonna do the Delos Tarot and the, oh my gosh, I always forget the name of this one. And the box to it is somewhere, I don't know. It's really close to my awareness. I can Pantha Tarot, Pantha Oracle, and the Delos Tarot. And they're not exact like cartoon representations of things, but to me they're compatible. We'll see the different art styles, but to me they're compatible enough that they make a fun little, let's make this right. Okay. They make a fun little story here. So we're going to pull 1 from each deck for each of you that are here. We'll try to keep this little window into about a 20-minute span of time. So we're starting about 8 minutes. So about, I sounded very Canadian, eh? We'll keep it to, around 28 minutes. We'll kind of stop if we're still going at that point. So let's see. We got 13 people here. Wow, that's quite the number. Let's put a 1313 in the chat. Very divine feminine vibes with those 13s. Death card energy, all the good things. Yeah. And we have 1 donation so far, which is KDR for a full read, which we will get into after our little 20-minute little intermission here. Fun time. Usually I try to warn people if I'm going to cough, if they have headphones and stuff, that can kind of be jarring. So I apologize. Next time I cough, I will let you know, hopefully beforehand. Okay, we got quite the list here of 1313s. Let's get into it for you guys. Again, we're going to do 1 from this deck, 1 from this deck, and tell a story. So Katie R. And if it appears that I'm reading your name in a different order than you see, sometimes I just see them in a different order on the back end of YouTube Studio. So I'll maybe do a roll call if we have time. So let's see. Katie, let's get Katie's cards. We have 1 card here. Oh, you get 2 from this deck. Ooh, Marriage and Perseverance. But let's also get a Delos Tarot card. Really paint a picture here for Katie. And we have the King of Swords. This is about being able to speak your truth. I know this can be kind of a cutting card, like in speech. And with Mars still being in Gemini, about to go back into Cancer, Mars can be, especially in Gemini, it can be kind of harsh communication or very passive aggressive, sometimes even flat out aggressive. Not saying you're aggressive, but you may be dealing with people who can be aggressive with their speech. So try not to take it personally, Katie, because they just might be whatever. And of course, because you're in charge and in control of your own energy, instead of just reacting or responding instantly to something someone's saying, you can kind of cultivate what you're gonna respond with rather than just reacting. With the marriage, it says sweet love, couple, and dependency, not codependency, but like interdependency. So good vibes here. This doesn't technically have to be marriage or a love partner, but just someone you really vibe with. It might be time to reach out to them and let them know, hey, haven't seen you in a minute. Let's hang out. And then perseverance. Don't give up, especially if something has been a challenge or you've had to have a lot of endurance with something. You're about to have a breakthrough with something or someone, could be, because we have 2 people here. Very cool. All right, Katie. That was for Katie. Let's get Michelle a message. Okay. Michelle, let's get you some cards here. And we had a donation come in. Holy cow, Mom. From my mom, Mardell. Okay, let's go. Michelle, you have imagination with variety, fantasy, and mind. And also the number is 63 there if anyone wants to, have extra homework with your numbers. Aw, she's buying Tanya a reading for her birthday. Love it. So sweet. And we also have for Michelle, the Magician. Okay, wow. Because look, the word magic or magi is in imagination and magician. Look at that. Amazing. And the root word of that does have something to do with being able to manifest something. Very magic energy around you right now, Michelle. Not gonna lie, this is really cool. So if there's something you're working on that's very creative or something you're really passionate about, this just might be something that's gonna really pop off or be really cool. So anything, even if you are filling up your imaginative cup or well by consuming creative content or watching people do art on YouTube or watching, like, I don't know, Avatar, which is still a movie I haven't seen, but it's kind of on my list. Like the next movie I watch, I don't watch a lot of TV or movies, you guys. So that's why you're like, that's weird. No, I don't really watch a lot of TV or movies. The last TV show I did watch was Outlander. It was the last season that was available. So I think it was season 6. And this was back in May, you guys. It's been a while. I just don't really watch TV or movies, but I want to watch Avatar because everyone's talking about how like spiritual it is. So I do want to watch that at some point. But something that's like a masterpiece. Everyone's like, oh, it's a masterpiece. You got to watch it. So maybe you're consuming masterpiece content or stuff that took a lot of amazing imagination. But you're also in this very creative space right now, Michelle. All right. Ooh, I will like it. Oh, cool. Yeah, I know. Oh gosh, Ola Wolney talks about it a lot. I think the place that they live is called Pandora, and then you have the Great Tree. And if you think about like the Tree of Life and how it was cut down, like I think there's a lot of lore that, or what's the word? Like myths and legends and all that has gone into that movie. So, and a Jupiter Ascending is another one I keep hearing about, and I want to see that one too. So I have a little list. I do have a little list. Oh, in the Gorge, couple people have told me that's a good one too. So like, I guess I better get back out there and start watching some videos and not just YouTube content. I will definitely. I know I have Jupiter Ascending on my list, but I'm just taking a screenshot of your recommendation there, Versha. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so next, I'm like off on 40 tangents, but hey, it's cool. Solar Siren, let's get your message or 2. We're going to do 2 cards here. So Solar Siren, what does Solar Siren need to know in alignment with true spirit? Highest timeline, all the fun things. Ooh, we have Fury. This feels to me like a rising of emotion or energy that you are letting go of. This is just like childhood stuff, past trauma that's built up. You're releasing it. You're letting it go. Let's get the tarot card to clarify what is this Fury about. But this is also about going on the offense. And it's funny. I'll tell you another little thing in a minute here. Yeah, you're literally taking charge here. You're not taking no prisoners, taking no for an answer, all the fun things. The first 2 words here are offense and madness. These 2 words really remind me of basketball, and we're upcoming with March Madness, all the basketball tournaments. So this feels to me like a tournament, not literally in your life, like you're joining a hopscotch tournament or anything like that. No. What it feels like is you threw your hat in the ring with something and you're making it to the finish line, or you're making it to, you're pulling for yourself. I'm hearing to get another card, not even from either of these decks, but let's go to this Mystic Black Rose. What else does this have to do with for Jessa? Ooh, with a decision. Okay, yeah, this is very job related. So yeah, it says wrong reasons, contemplating stay or leave, uncertain. So where these things have felt very confusing, uncertain, did I make the right choice? You're going to have such clarity coming in, like such clarity. So you're going to be very clear. And this is going to be as a result of some trauma coming up to be released, then you being able to move forward into making a very clear and concise decision about your financial future, your career, just life choices in general. All these things are really looking up for you, especially after your birthday, which I know is still a week and a half away, something like that. No, it's like 8 days away, right? So a little over a week away. Yeah. Okay. So Linda, let's get Linda a card or two. We're going to do 2 for sure. Maybe more if that's what needs to come out. Who knows? We have Promise, which we'll get into this. What else for Linda in alignment with her true spirit? And this guy's proposing here. And they have the Hermit. So this could even be, Linda, a promise you've made to yourself or will soon make to yourself for yourself. This feels very spiritual, but also something you can ground into the 3D reality. And of course, again, she's kind of being proposed to here, which is a very cute little card. And it's like he's got a little thought bubble there, but there's nothing in it. He's just like waiting for her response. But what we have here is responsible, confirmation, not confirmation, I can speak, and assurance. So this could even be the support of your spouse or a close friend, relative that's giving you that reassurance that you're on the right track, even though not that you need someone else's validation or reassurance, but in this case, it feels good to have that support. Or if you tell someone, hey, I'm going to be doing this thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Just let me know if you need anything from me. Like, there's a lot of support here for you, Linda, but also spiritual support and just your own spirit, and you just getting pretty clear, kind of similar to Jess's message. You're getting this sense of clarity, like, okay, like I know my next step, or I know the direction I'm going finally, where maybe before it wasn't even that next step that was the problem. It was like, I don't even know what I'm trying to shoot for right now. Like, what does my future look like? Like, what do I even want? Clarity is coming in about this, and it feels like almost a spiritual download. Could even be something a loved one says to you that like sparks something. You're like, I could do that. You're right. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you for the clarity. Very cool, Linda. Yay. All right, Banana Anna S. Let's get your cards, my dear. All right. We have here hesitation and one more. And we have temperance. Okay. So there is this balance coming in where maybe things felt out of balance or even stagnant, because I'm seeing the flow of this water that she's, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And there may even be, again, kind of like a timeline shift or you moving in a new direction, but it's like not quite time. Even if you have the general idea of what you're doing next, it's not quite time to take that next action step. But that doesn't mean you can't be planning or, getting ideas in the meantime. And that's where this hesitation maybe has come in, is like, one devil on the shoulder, one angel on the shoulder, or just getting mixed signals from your own brain. And it's funny because the last 3 messages here have been like, you're getting clarity. Jessa was getting clarity. Linda's getting clarity. You get clarity. You get clarity. You get clarity. Oprah's handing out cards, and these cards are handing out clarity. So, yes, Anna, this is some big clarity coming for you as to how to balance your life. Like what does a good work-life balance look like? What does a good alone time, spending time with others balance look like? And any hesitation that you may have had specifically around deciding something, or just having all the information, being confused, like, I don't even know. Clarity, again, is coming in because you're balancing something out here. Very exciting. That's probably the most exciting. These kind of last 3 messages have been very exciting with the clarity, because there's nothing more exhilarating of a feeling than knowing that you're on the right track, or just having clarity, or just having a very clear sense of, okay, this is the decision I need to make. it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to have. Even if you know there's maybe a lot of work involved and okay, now that I made my choice, I got to apply for that job. I got to get that job. I got to whatever the case may be. But clarity is so good. It's so good to have that clarity sometimes. All right, Tanya, let's get your cards. All right, Tanya, in alignment with Tanya's true spirit, what does she need to know? Ooh, we have the Two of Pentacles balancing a lot of stuff here. And one from this Panther Oracle for Tanya. Aw, eternal love. And we have eternity, consistency, and soulmate energy. And then we have maybe so this very much is your energy, but we got Troy's energy coming in hot as well. But what I see with this is not so much a balance of like work life. Yeah, that's probably always going to be hard or difficult for most people out here, right? Let's just be fair, especially if you're your own business owner. Like, what is work-life balance when you own your own business? Like, goes right out the window. But what I see with this is just prioritizing certain maybe projects around your home specifically, or things that maybe Troy is helping you with, because it's like he wants to help. He just wants to help. He wants to feel useful. He wants to feel like a hero in your life. And you maybe even just saying, hey, you can take that off my plate. That would be amazing. And trusting that he's going to do things the way that you would do them if it were you doing them. For some reason, I'm feeling the need to get one more tarot card for Tanya. Oh, and we have the moon. So this is about trusting your intuition as well. So if you're just like, I don't know, maybe that's not the right color to paint that room, or maybe that's not the right thing to invest in right now, whatever it is, trust your intuition, because it's really on point, especially since you've had your birthday a couple days ago now, 3 days ago now. You're very intuitive. There's something with the fact that this eclipse is happening. Your birthday, Tanya, this year has been bookended with eclipses. You had one on the 14th. We're having another one on March 29th, all wrapped up with your sun sign. And I don't know your chart off the top of my head, but like usually your Venus or Mercury are pretty damn close, on everyone's chart. They're either the house behind, the house of, or the house before the sun sign. So you may have a lot of personal planets that have been wrapped up with this eclipse or being aspected by this eclipse. So things feel like up in the air, or what do I prioritize? You're right on time. You will get this clarity that we've been talking about. I think that's just the name of the game for all these not collective messages. These are personal messages, but there's a collective theme coming through, that clarity is coming. And I'm also hearing, Tanya, don't make any big decisions between now and the next eclipse, which is March 29th. Maybe even extending that like toward April 5th, when we're kind of still in the weird shadow phase of that eclipse. Especially like big purchases, unless it's something you've already planned to purchase and have it going. Just hold off. And if you can, if it's something that just has to happen, that's fine. Remember though, we're in Mercury retrograde, we're in Venus retrograde, we just had an eclipse, we're having another eclipse. Saturn, the day of the eclipse, at least in Vedic astrology, is going to move into the same house. So there's going to be, I think, all told, the moon is moving out as Saturn moves in. I can't remember exactly the details, but it's a lot, you guys. Not just Tanya, but like all of us. It's a lot. So if you need some extra rest, if you need some extra water, if you just need a hug from somebody, like ask for what you need at this time, or take a break. There's no need. Sorry, I was going to warn you if I coughed. There's no need to try to push yourself beyond the limits, because this is a time you will break, and then you will have to, recover even longer, because you didn't give yourself that grace of bowing out and taking a rest when you needed one. I just learned this the hard way back in February, and I'm still dealing with the fallout. So listen to your body, listen to your intuition. All right, let's get one for Kashfi. All right, what do we have here for Kashfi? We have 8 of Cups. So you're moving away or deciding to just not mess with some energy anymore. This could be just something that you once were really excited about, but now you're just kind of like, I don't know. That one friend I was hanging out with, she's just not it anymore. Could be something like that. We also have the reservation card, and it says there, desire, worth, and extravagance. I actually like this message together, because this may be you walking away from having to put how you value yourself wrapped up in that grade you got on that test, or how well you performed at your math competition, or how well you cleaned your room. Like, you're deciding that no matter what, this is for you to decide for yourself, Kashvi, but no matter what, you are worthy and you deserve love, you deserve beauty, you deserve peace in your life. And because maybe you dropped the ball on this or didn't quite perform well on that, that doesn't mean your worth decreases. No, you're always like top notch, top shelf, top of the pedestal, top of the stairs, always amazing, no matter what happens in the external or even on the internal. You still always hold your worth. So always remember that. Even if you feel like you've disappointed someone, you've disappointed yourself, always know that you are worthy of love, of trust, of respect. Beautiful message for Kashvi. All right. Very cool. All right. So let's get into Jessica's message. Let's get a card or two for Jessica. We got a couple Jessas and Jessicas in the house. Jessica, in alignment with her true spirit, what does she need to know? And we have profession. So there might be some shifts or changes, or maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed. Look at all of that. It's very, oh gosh, I always forget the name of the Hindu goddess with all the arms. It's not Kali, is it? I don't remember. See, I need to brush up on my facts here. Anyway, anything else for Jessica in alignment with her true spirit? What she needs to know? Ooh, yeah. Okay. Have some patience here. This is probably the worst card to get on my live stream because we all just want things to happen now, don't we? Like, wouldn't it be nice? It would be nice if things could just move forward at the speed of what we're ready for. But that's what is coming through, is maybe there's something about to pop off for you in career, Jessica, that there needs to be a bit of easing in because you may already feel overwhelmed for some reason right now. But just know that this too shall pass. Whatever is stressing you out, making you worried about anything to do with your career, or even some hobbies. This could even be hobbies, and especially if you are not a career chef or cook, just like how much time and effort goes into meal planning, meal prep, cooking the darn meal, eating the meal. Like, a lot of our daily time is devoted to these things. So if you've even been struggling, like, what do I even make? What do I even cook? Like, I don't even know what to do for my body. Maybe you're even looking at things like intermittent fasting, or doing some sort of cleanse where you're just drinking juice, or like, I don't know. You may have already kind of, sorry about my dogs. I know you can hear that. I apologize for that. They're going to do what they do. But anything you've already been looking at or researching, or maybe you've already dipped your toe into some of this, you're going to have a breakthrough with something, but just have patience. Especially if you're on any kind of like health or wellness journey of any kind, and you're maybe not seeing the results you were hoping for, or you haven't quite yet worked up that steam to put yourself out there and do the thing. Just know that eventually something's going to click, something's going to fall into place for you here. All right. So let's go to Amanda F. Let's get your cards, my dear. Amanda F. In alignment with her true spirit, what does she need to know right now? That one jumped. We're taking it. Ooh, we have the Nightmare card. All right, let's get some clarity on this. Clarifying card with the Nightmare card. Okay, for Amanda. Oh, ouch. Okay. So if you felt under attack either in your dreams by random people at the store, or just energetically speaking, could be Wi-Fi, EMF frequencies, just people's harsh words, people just being brats and dumping all their crap on you. You are not crazy. You are not making this up. Like, there's a lot going on in your energy field. And I'm actually going to pull a clarifier just to see, like, I do see a lot of this is happening more behind the scenes or more energetically than in the physical, but you may start to see people just showing their true colors in the physical. And I can't help but see in the numbers here, we have 757 or 577. I don't know why for no one else really that seemed relevant, but for you it seems relevant, Amanda. So I just pointed that out. If you want to look up angel number 757 or 757 or 775, feel free to look those up. I probably read those backwards, but it's the number 75. I think I said 57. Yeah, I did because I was reading it backwards. So it's 775 or 757. There we go. and then the ace. Oh, I love this. I was going to pull another card, but like it just fell off the top and right to the floor. The clarity we've been talking about this whole time for most people, there it is. You're going to be very clear. I'm still going to pull another card, but you're going to be very clear about what the source of this just toxicity or just negativity is. And it's not sourced within you. That being said, though, we all have wounds or traumas from our past that allow this energy to somehow find us or anchor into us. So the more healing, peeling, clearing, cleansing of your own energy you can do, the less this kind of toxic soup of negativity can hang around your field. And of course, the more you clear, the more that when this energy does come in, it does feel like that dark cloud over your head just starts raining and you're like instantly aware something's off. And that would kind of be your sign to be like, okay, I need to do some cleansing, clearing, grounding, centering, shielding, all the fun things. But let's just see for Amanda what this may even be like your health in some capacity is being sabotaged by something beyond what you can see, like in the physical world, more energetic. And it could even be someone who you once considered a trusted friend. Now, I don't want you to think that, oh no, I have to be very paranoid about what I say to this friend, that friend, whatever. No, because you've already have very strong intuition about what this person may be up to. This could even be someone from your past that's just energetically trying to snoop on you on social media or ask someone about you the other day. It doesn't mean that they're actively still trying to like do anything negative. But if there is someone that's intuitively, or you've already intuitively before this conversation we're having right now, thought that, hey, I don't know that they have my best interests at heart. Trust your intuition. Doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life unless that feels like something you need to do. If you've been wondering, do I need to cut this person out of my life? And you've already kind of been entertaining that thought, I would say absolutely do it. But if there's no one on your radar for that exactly, there's no real move you have to make because whoever this is, whatever's going on, it's going to become crystal clear between now and April. So there's no investigation you have to go out there and do to figure this out. It'll just become very clear to you as time goes on here. All right, Amanda, what an interesting message for her. Okay, so Versha, let's get your cards in alignment with your true spirit. What do you need to know? And we have the trap card. Okay, victim, allure, and trick. Let's get the clarifier. Let's see for Versha in alignment with her true spirit. What does she need to know? And we have 7 of Cups. Okay, so this has something to do with switching of timelines or merging of timelines, feeling stuck or trapped. This is just letting you know that no, as you hear me say often around here, I'm sure, this is a message of hope. The underlying message of this card, it's about hope. It's about knowing that you're not stuck. You're not trapped. There are many options or ways around something, through something, going above something, whatever the case may be. I'm feeling drawn to pull a clarifier, and we're going to use this deck for whatever reason. It's just where I intuitively went, so we're going with it. Almost said Amber. What does Versha need to know? Okay. So yeah, this has to do with just healing, cleansing, clearing, feeling overwhelmed, feeling overburdened, feeling that anxiety in your body, just feeling like I don't know how much longer I can hold on with all this stress and worry and burden and just ... And once again, we kind of have a repeat here. This is a 787 because this is 78. Oh, this is 78. This is 7. Or we can say 877, right? No, 787 or 778. So if you want to, I know you're kind of having those inverse numbers show up a lot, and they kind of showed up here. So check that out if you feel so inclined for extra homework. But something that's been really bothering you, overburdening you, this feels like something to do around the home, people in the home, the energy in the home. There's something about to give where that's flowing. It's just flowing and going. Like you're feeling it, healing it, peeling it, releasing it, letting it go. Okay, very cool. All right. And we've already went over our 20 minutes, but because I'm me, we're going to keep going. Okay, Kirsten, let's do it. All right. So let's go in for Kirsten. Ooh, you already have, okay, so there's 4 cards here. I'm going to put them back, but I'm just going to let you know they're all queens and kings. Holy cow. You have the Queen of Swords, King of Swords. So there's like divine masculine and feminine sacred union right there. Queen of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to stagger these back just to see. You may be dealing with a lot of people right now, or something to do with a lot of different people, or you're communicating with a lot of people. Let's just see what needs to come out, though, for Kirsten in alignment with her true spirit. What does she need to know right now? Okay, this one definitely needs to come out. And the Three of Wands. Okay, so I don't know if you're planning a trip with other people, or, I mean, this could be even people you live with, or finally seeing an outcome to something you've been trying to manifest that may involve other people. Anything else Kirsten needs to know with this message? Because we have Three of Wands. Ooh, and we have calm, inner peace, simplicity, and meditation. Okay, I'm getting a very clear message now that maybe there are too many cooks in the kitchen with your energy, as far as people giving you unsolicited advice or telling you what they think you should do, especially like parents or people that probably do at some level have your best interest at heart, but like it's just not coming across that way. It's feeling very controlling, or like, well, I wouldn't do it that way, and passive aggressive almost. But you're going to be able to find peace in whatever your own choice, your own decision to move forward with whatever it is. You're going to find that peace and clarity, name of the game tonight, and be able to move forward. This could even be looking like going on a trip or a move, so to speak, but I'm more getting trip or something you've been trying to manifest is finally coming in for you. All right. So let's get to Brandy Lynn. All right, we're not too crazy back ahead of what we should be or whatever. Okay, so Brandy Lynn, we have stubbornness, and we also have Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this feels to me very much like family, home. Well, this is just the way we do things. There may be a shift or a big change. Could be a small change, but it feels like a big deal in your house for whatever reason. Just a small change you're wanting to make, but it's been met with a bit of stubbornness. And this has to do with, it says selfness, but I think they meant selfishness. I don't know. Oh my gosh, is my eyesight really this bad? Mulish attitude and annoyance. Okay, I don't know why I couldn't read the word mulish. Oh, arrogance, not annoyance, but maybe annoyance, because that came out as well. And Wheel of Fortune. So something's going to shift here with this energy. I normally don't wear my contacts, and I think my prescription has shifted, because I got these contacts like 2 to 3 years ago, and I definitely need to up it up. Get a different prescription, because when my contacts aren't in, I can read something right here, no problem. But when my contacts are in, I feel like that guy that needs the reading glasses, even though I already have the correctives going on. I don't know. But anyway, I'm hearing in one ear and out the other. So maybe there's some shifts or changes or suggestions you've made to family members, or this could even be to yourself. Like, okay, I need to do this thing. And then you want to do it, you try to do it, and then you feel almost like you let yourself down because you dropped the ball on it, and then you go to do it again, and it's like same cycle, same cycle, same cycle. Well, there's something about to change for the better for you to finally be able to move forward with any of this stubborn energy that's just kind of been in the way in the home, or with, your relationships with people in the home, your relationship with yourself, and, with your projects and things you have going on or things you want to do. The stubbornness is lifting, and I just see this like flow. Like you're going to be able to be in the flow with something, which is very good energy, very cool energy, especially coming into the springtime here. Was it tomorrow? I can't remember which day the spring equinox is, but like it's either today or tomorrow. It's like here, folks. It's here. So happy almost spring, everybody. So excited. Excuse me, I'm not coughing. Okay, Jessica's mom. And then we have Mardell. And then just a reminder, we have Katie R for a full read. Kirsten donated up above, which we will take care of. And then my mom donated for Tanya. So anyone else wanting to get a donation in, we can get you on the list, or you can hang on and wait until a little bit later, whatever you want to do. But let's get one for Jessica's mom. Well, 2. So we're doing 2 cards at least. Okay, Jessica's mom. Yeah, well, we're doing 2 from this deck. So we have Schedule and Third Wheel. Very fun. What else? Jessica's mom. In alignment with her true spirit. Ooh, feeling independent. So where you have maybe felt like the third wheel in some group or some other person's relationship or connection, friendship. Could even be at work because we have schedule, we've got a group of people here, feeling maybe left out. Even if you were somehow invited or you were there or decided not to go, whatever the case may be, you're still feeling a bit left out. But I do see this energy passing for you to be able to step into your sovereignty and just feel really good, feel inspired, feel the sense of freedom that maybe you didn't feel. This could even be having to do with something around a work schedule. You're finding freedom to maybe have a slightly different schedule, or maybe you're making the most of that schedule to where you feel more in control of it at work, or even just in life in general. It doesn't have to be just straight up work. This guy's like almost like trying to catch this alarm clock that's just time's just flying by. Like, can I slow it down? Can I catch it? Can I just like get it to be stationary for just a minute? The best way that you can actually tune into that or tap into that is just drop your awareness, drop your just your awareness, your attention into your present body. Even do like a body scan. Like, does anything on me hurt right now? Do I feel cold? Do I feel hot? Is anything itching me right now? Like, how do I feel in my body? Like, what sounds are around me? What smells are around me? That is one surefire way to just slow time down. Because if you're asked to just sit in silence for 30 seconds, that is a long 30 seconds if you're not used to silence and, you're always on the go, you're always being busy. So this might even just be a nice reminder that you're like busy monkey mind, or just feeling like I gotta go, do, be for all people all the time and just burn myself out. Maybe that energy is the third wheel in your life, that you just want to be more chill, more go with the flow. Not everything is a race. Like when we're rushing, like I get in this mode where I'm like, we need to go. It's time for school. We got, maybe not that manic about it, but like, we gotta go, guys. Like, but I'm feeling like in my like body, I'm like, we gotta go. We're gonna hit traffic and then we're gonna be late. Like, I'm usually really good about not projecting that anxiety onto the kids. I'm sure they can still pick it up for my energy field, but I'm usually like, okay, guys, we gotta go. Kind of like shuffle out the door. But what I'm getting with Jessica's mom is maybe you're just kind of checking your own self before you wreck yourself as far as a burnout, because you've been trying to do too much for too many people in too little amount of time. And now it's your time to just step back, take a break, step back into your own, like, what is it I want to experience? Where's my freedom? What can I do that's going to light me up? Yeah. All right. And the last one we're going to do that I see here is, I have a lot of comments to catch up on, I think. Mardell. Okay, let's get Mardell some cards. What does Mardell need to know in alignment with her true spirit? What does Mardell need to know? We have the idea card. And again, that's going to be real. I mean, do you see how blurry that looks? Like, it's not just my eyesight with my contacts in. I'm not even going to try to read that. Like, dude, what? Oh, maybe. Suggestion is the middle one. I don't know. Can anyone make... Vision is maybe the last one, which we're having trouble with tonight. And I don't know what that first one is. Imagination, maybe? Let me really try hard here. Inspiration. It's inspiration. Idea, inspiration, suggestion, and vision for Mardell. So you're getting a bright idea. It might be something that you're watching or seeing or communicating online or on your computer with someone about. But let's get some additional guidance for Mardell. Anything else she needs to know? Ooh, you get two. Okay, feeling like crying over something, or just feeling like a victim in some way, that something's not shifting, something's not changing, and being able to have an idea or just this change of heart, change of thought that's going to put you in a more empowered feeling, like, no, I deserve this and I'm going to take what's mine, rather than settling for scraps. This could even look like something with work, just feeling like, oh my gosh, again, like this thing is happening again. This is why. Which, we're all valid, and it's appropriate from time to time to like be able to judge our surroundings and our environment and be like, this isn't right. We shouldn't be able to have to do this, or this thing have to happen all the time. But when we get stuck, which preaching to my choir, like I do this all the time, I get stuck in this thinking like, okay, it's never going to improve. Nothing's ever going to be better. But there's an idea or maybe some sort of just way that you're, I'm gonna maybe try to open this window now and see if it's still so bright. I don't know. It's maybe a bit bright. I look weird on this in the bright light. I just thought that the sun wasn't like beaming, so that's better, huh? I mean, we got this going on, but whatever. Not why you're here. But anyway, some sort of modality or way of operating that it's like you can shift the energy from this to something more exciting or more in alignment with what you're wanting to experience. Okay, now everything's falling apart. Okay. We did it. Maybe. So this feels to me like a change of perspective is really what's coming through, is just a shifting of focus to have a vision for a better way forward for you. Okay, now this thing's really doing its thing. Stay on the crystal. I'm trying to prop it up on this crystal, which my mom actually bought me. It's a amethyst. Maybe I can show you. I don't know. Yeah, it's an amethyst that is hollowed out on the inside, and there's a little light that goes in, so you can turn on like a light. And I have this light on top of that, or trying to have it on top of that anyway. Okay, now we're good. We're good. Okay, so let's catch up on some comments. Sharing the love in the comments. Mardell and Tanya. Yay. Kirsten's donation there. Oh, she did not do well on the math competition. It was a tower moment coming from spirit, as we discussed on the reading last month. Yeah, right? Oh, all goddesses have many arms. Yeah, Kelly is a fierce one. Yeah, for sure. Or Kali. I never pronounce things correctly. I think you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say half the time, though, at least. All right. Okay, so... Oh, you can change your last question. Okay. Resonated so much. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Jessica. So changing the question, which we'll get into here. And I think it's time I throw these contacts away because they've been in my contact little solution thingy for a minute and they're very cloudy now. I haven't worn them probably since the band concert a couple weeks back. Unless I wore them on the last live stream, which I don't remember if I did or not. But those would have maybe been the only 2 times I've worn them in the recent couple weeks. So I need to definitely replace them very soon. I have a whole drawer full still because I wear my glasses most of the time. So the contacts, they're not expired till like 2026. So I'm good, but maybe they're the wrong prescription at this point. Interesting. Oh, that's true. I worked on it today. I was thinking about it regarding what we were talking about yesterday. Also the breakthrough about my healing work I have done. Yes, I love it. Sure, 787. Thank you very much, Amanda. A lot going on from the past to present, going into the future right now. A bit overwhelmed and needed internal patience for that rain cloud. Yes. Kirsten's planning a trip to NYC, but only with me. I've been trying to meet new people and make friends. Very exciting. Yeah, a trip to NYC. Like, I've always wanted to go to New York just to say I've been, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing, like, specific I wanted to do. But, like, ever since I was a kid, like, some of my favorite movies growing up were filmed in New York, like the movie Ghost, filmed in New York City. Home Alone 2, Not Lost in New York, filmed in New York City. That was always like growing up. I loved that movie. I think so there was this, to this day I've never seen the movie Arthur, but I have seen Arthur 2 on the rocks because I think my mom or us, we bought it at like a video store. Like they were not going out of business, but they had like movies that they just didn't want to rent anymore, that you could just buy the movie that used to be a rental for like $2 to $3 or $5. I don't remember what it was back in the day. Pretty cheap. You could just buy it and have it. And we bought that one and I watched it a lot. And it was set in New York City, if I remember correctly. It was in a big city. I think it was New York City. Yeah, with Dudley Moore. Anyone ever watched the movie Arthur? I haven't, but I've seen the second one, Arthur 2 on the Rocks. Liza Minnelli was in it. Arthur was Dudley Moore. I don't even really remember what happened in that movie. I know he was drunk all the time, and she was always like trying to get him to do stuff. Like, I don't even remember what that movie was about. I don't know. Why am I blanking on all the other movies I used to love growing up that were set in New York City? I picked like 3 really well, I guess Ghost isn't that random, or Home Alone's not that random, but, or Home Alone 2. But Arthur 2, On the Rocks, very random. Yeah, Home Alone 2 was called Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Arthur 2, On the Rocks. Get it? Drinking on the rocks? Yeah. I didn't understand that as a kid, though. I'm like, he's not on any rocks. Why did they call the movie that? Like, I didn't get it. I should have. My dad was a pretty big alcoholic my whole life, but he wasn't a, like, hard alcohol guy. I guess he is now, but I don't know him well enough to know that that's his life. But back in my day, it was just beer. Back in my day with him, it was just beer. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other 90s movies. Look Who's Talking, and Look Who's Talking 2. Pretty much any movie that was set in the 80s or 90s with sequels, set in New York, according to my watch history here. I loved Look Who's Talking as a kid. I could watch that movie every day if you paid me to. Or even if you didn't pay me to, I would watch it. I love that movie. I just thought it was hilarious. Because John Travolta, back in the day, he was cute. Maybe not so much anymore, but... Yeah, Home Alone 2. I know the first Home Alone, I think, was set in, like, Chicago. I think. I don't know. Take it as a good thing. Pure-minded child, despite what was going on around you. Right? For sure. All right, friends. Well, let's get into Katie's question. And then we have Mardell for Tanya. Birthday party. Or birthday present, I should say. Not a party. Although we could make it a party. Yes, so we have Katie, 1 card pull for, Kirsten, and she wanted to change her second question, which we can totally do that. So 2 1 card pulls for Kirsten. So I'm going to write our list out. Donation list. I'll leave Katie off because we're about to dive into that, but we'll do, so we have Tanya, which is from Mardell, and she donated quite a bit, so we'll go in depth if we need to. And then we have Kirsten. Oh, I know why the dogs were barking earlier. We sold this, like, vanity thing that we've been trying to get out of our garage for years. Not years, like, it's been in there about a year, and finally sold it. Thank you, Facebook Marketplace. Okay, so 2 1 card. I know what that means. So there we go. That's our list. Let me just double check that no one else has donated, so I'm not leaving anyone high and dry. Okay, no, we're good. So Katie, we're going to get into it. We're going to use the Cozy Witch Tarot because I just saw it and it looks fun. So let's do it. First, we need to know your question. Let's get over there. Okay. Hello, I hope, excuse me. I hope you and everyone in the chat are doing well tonight. I am. Thank you. I can't speak for everyone, but I should probably fix this again, but I don't know. Who cares? No one cares. I need to up my studio game here a little bit. I do. And I need to shave my armpits, so have fun seeing that too. You're getting the raw and unfiltered, authentic me tonight. Yes, yes, you are. There we go. Much better. Okay. Let's get into it for Katie. Yes, we're doing well. At least I can speak for myself. At least. Like a love message from Stacy, please. Love it. So cute. No wonder I went to the Cozy Witch without even knowing your question, because she does feel really at home in your energy. And again, I apologize for the dogs. But let's do this. Expose! I love it. Yes. Oh, 3 1 cards. Okay, for some reason I only saw there were 2 donations. I don't know why it did that. Oh. It says never mind I and then G, but it's, I don't know. Weird. It's like, does anyone else see it? She's got like 2 big, like, SuperChats, and then one is almost like a highlight with her name with a little chat. I don't know. I would assume that, I don't know, it's like it's trying to point back to that second, no, third, first. but it looks different. I don't know. I've never seen it do that before. Oh, I see. It's referring back. Is John interested in me? Okay. Which was your second one. So, oh, it's got a comment on that one. Do you see there? It's if you go back, scroll back up the chat on the second question that you have, Kirsten. It says, "Is John interested in me? Will he message me back?" Which I know you want to change that question, which is totally fine. But then we have a comment on that says, "Never mind," and then I, and then G. So I think it only came through with 2 question payment super chat thingies. I don't know for sure. I think. Okay. So Katie, I will timestamp just in case Katie isn't here, but I don't. She's there. She's there. She said she's here. So we're gonna roll. And again, apologies for the dogs. Oh, you're fighting with Google support to figure it out. Super chat payment. Oh, no worries. No worries. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, so a love message from Stacy to Katie. Let's tune into this lovely energy between you two. We got 3 coming out right out of the gate. We have the Page of Pentacles. It says, "When life gives you lemons, make enchanted lemonade." So even though she's going through a hard time in life, when she's with you or thinks about you or in your energy in any way, she feels uplifted. You make her feel good in a lot of ways. We also have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, that's kind of her energy a lot, is just feeling really overwhelmed, overburdened with just kind of the way life is, you know? And it says, "Why make things so much more difficult than they need to be?" And then we have the Temperance. Let go of self-imposed limitations. So especially when it comes to your energy, she's kind of the one holding back, and then she feels bad about it. And then she wants to, and this message has come through at least 3 or 4 different times over the span that we've been reading on her energy. It does feel like she feels bad that she maybe dropped the ball sometimes with communicating, or, you know, figuring out like, hey, let's go get together. Let's do this thing together, whatever. But then time goes by, and then she feels even more awkward to then reach out at times. But I do see a shift here, because she's kind of reached the end of her rope with something in her marriage or in her home or just in her life in general, that she's kind of sick of her own BS in a way. And this feels like a shift she's making potentially with communication. There's a shift I'm making with my own communication, and this is just kind of a side tangent. But there may be a very similar thing going on with Stacy, that there's a current transit going on. My current transit is Uranus just went right back into Taurus, and it's about to go back over my Mercury for a second time. Uranus is about transformation, thinking outside the box, doing things completely out of your status quo. For me, Mercury is about communication. It's about intellectual, whatever, being able to process information, all this stuff. With Uranus going over that, it's a heavy hitter. It went over my son a couple years back in my 7th house of marriage. It really transformed things there. This is now in my 8th house. So it's fun times in the 8th house with Uranus there. Holy cow. Unexpected events, with Uranus being the planet of unexpected in the house of unexpected events, is like a double whammy of unexpected. So like at this point, like anything will probably go. I don't even know. But I'm getting a very similar vibe from Stacy, that she's got a very heavy transit that is shifting her personality. But I see this actually working out for the better, to where she's better able to communicate something to you, to her husband, to her kids, to her family people in her life. She's kind of stepping out of the little, like sometimes feeling a bit shy to step in, or even if she is more outgoing in energy, which I do see she can kind of go through the spectrum of. In certain instances, she's very shy. In other instances, she's very outspoken and bubbly and happy. It just kind of depends on who's around her or what's going on. But I see her more shifting out of just the shy to not, step on anyone's toes energy, and just stepping more into her embodiment of her own amazingness, is really what's coming through. And she wants you to know that somehow you've been an inspiration in that, or something you have potentially said has inspired that in her, or something you said to her as a compliment has stuck with her since you said it, and she thinks about it a lot. Let's see what this is, or just anything else Katie needs to know about it. Ten of Swords, hurt people, and hurt witches. So yeah, this may have something to do with just her feeling not good enough, or like a burden to people, or just like, well, no one will want me anyways, so like whatever. She's holding a bottle there that says curse. She's got all those knives in her back. Like, it's not a good vibe. Not saying you're not a good vibe, but like this is what she's trying to leave behind, is just this like woe is me, almost like Eeyore energy. She's like, I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't always want to be sad. I don't always want to be thinking of like the worst scenario, or, you know, thinking the worst, not of people, but just of her own actions toward people, and then people like reacting or responding because of her worst actions ever. There's a shift here for her that she almost somehow wants to thank you for, because you've inspired it in her. Let's go to the Little Panther Oracle and just see if there's anything else that needs to come through from Stacy to Katie. Message from Stacy to Katie. And then perseverance. Yeah, it's like you've helped her not give up on something that she was very close to giving up on at some point. And no, this is not her marriage. I do see eventually she probably will be. That's also kind of an inspiration, and I think why a lot of her energy with her husband comes up in the reading with you and her, is because she's going to be able to evolve or grow beyond that connection eventually. And you've been a major inspiration. He's also been a major inspiration, but like in a negative way. You've been an inspiration in a very positive way. Not that he's a bad person. That's the thing, is like, yeah, maybe he does things. I mean, we've all as people done things we're not proud of in relationships or connections. But it's not that he's a bad person. It's just he's a bad for her. Like, she would thrive so much better in a different connection. But she really wants you to know that because of you, she kind of has a new lease on life in a lot of ways, and hasn't given up on something. And this something is herself. It's not, again, her relationship or anything. She hasn't given up on herself. She's actually maybe learning to kind of detach herself from the husband situation and not put so much weight on the words he says to her or the things he does or doesn't do for her. And instead, she's putting all that energy and resource back into herself so that she can be a better version of herself in your connection, in her connection with her kid, in her connection with, you know, the greater community or friends, family, that kind of thing. And you've been a major inspiration to her in big ways and in little ways that you would even have no idea about, just in the way that you show up in your connection to her. So very cool. What a cool message to get, that you've made a difference in someone's life, Katie. That's amazing. So, and yeah, there's definitely feelings there that she, at times she's like, you know, would this be a fun connection to explore deeper than just friendship eventually, when I'm out of this kind of situation I'm in with my husband and, you know, all that. She has thought about it. That's for sure. It's come out multiple times. Not so much in this reading. It's been more about how you've inspired her to just be a better version of herself. But I know we've hit into that crush territory with her before, where you're concerned. Even if she's someone who doesn't really consider herself bisexual or, you know, into girls in any way, that changes when it comes to you, because there's something about you, something about her. You feel it. She feels it. And even if you guys haven't really talked about it or expressed it to each other in any capacity, you can both feel it. So, like, trust that intuition. Yeah. Amazing. Very fun. All right, I'm going to take a quick drink. All right. Oh, you did your last question through PayPal. Okay, perfect. Oh, holistic butterfly visions. Gotcha. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and then Katie puts a butterfly. Very cool. Cool. Okay, so we will add that on as your third. Well, it's a 22 question. So it's a full read, and then you have the 2 1-card pulls here. So you have, Kirsten, 2 1-card pulls and a full reading. But let's get into Tanya's reading. So Tanya, if you're still here, what's your question? What do you want to know for your birthday from your Aunt Deli? Mardell, my mom. Did I get the third one? Let's see. I did get holistic butterfly visions over here. So we have that question about what is blocking you from feeling confident, happy, what's blocking you from being successful. So we will get into that. We'll take care of the ones you have here, and then we'll get that. No, I mean through here. I'm sorry. No, it only said I received 2. And then that third kind of like highlighted yellow, that's what it looks like for me anyway. Maybe I'll show you what I'm trying to explain. I can just show you. How does that sound? Because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Okay. So we're going to go to my live stream if we can find it. Let's turn it way down because we don't need to hear it. We can hear it like this. Okay. So now, okay, yes, moderator for the channel. Perfect. Okay. So this is what I see. Okay. We'll move this chat up. Okay. How weird. Because now on here, I actually see all 3, but up here, I didn't. Okay. So yeah, this makes sense to me now. Because what I was seeing on here, on mine, was something more like that. I didn't see the third big one. I just saw a response to one of those, and that's what I thought you were. Okay. No, I see 3 here, but not on here. For what I should see it here. This is the back end. Like I should see it here, but I'm not. So yes, I will just leave this here when I do yours, that I do have all 3 here. And then I also have your full read over here as well. So 3 1 card pull donations here and a full read over here. And Tanya has her question. So let's get into it. Okay, hopefully we have it squared away. Okay. Thank you though for letting me know, because yeah, I don't know what is going on with YouTube Studio half the time. They lie to me all the time. So it's fun. Oh, you've been going through some stuff. Well, big hugs to you, Kirsten. That's never easy to have to battle through it, you know? It's hard. All right. So Tanya wants to know what unexpected opportunities could help my business grow. I figured out my ideal client, and now I am ready for the universe to bring them to my door. I love it. Yes. Why should you go pound pavement when the universe can just bring them right to you somehow? Like, brilliant. I love it. I wish I could do that. I wish I knew how to do that for myself. I kind of do in a way now, about more stepping into the feminine receiving energy, just allowing myself to receive, but I still have a lot of work to do. But let's specifically talk about you, because that's what we're here for. Not me, but you. And again, my dog's out there barking. So what unexpected opportunities would help Tanya's business grow? Let's start there. Just see what Tanya needs to know. Ooh. So we have some slippery energy here. It fell into my chair. Just make sure none of them fell to the floor. No, it looks like we're good. Okay. Well, it came out this way. So it's like whatever was feeling stuck or stagnant, which I think looking at his head all lit up, that crown chakra, that third eye chakra lit up, the brain, the mind, all lit up here is letting you know that, okay, I had this epiphany. I had the aha moment. I'm not stuck anymore. Now I can move forward with this new realization of what my ideal client actually is. So I'm not out here chasing or attracting the wrong client that I will have to struggle with for 8 months and then have to let them go. Or they decide, oh, we're going to go a different direction. Like, that's just why? You don't have to deal with that anymore. And that's really showing up here. That yes, you have figured something out. You've cracked a code here. You figured out that ideal client, and now you are ready for the universe to bring them to your door. So let's see what unexpected opportunities could help your business grow. Let's see. Oh, wow. This came out in your other reading. Very interesting. So this is about being able to juggle or prioritize. Funny thing too, we have 2 white whales in the background. And I don't know if this was on a movie or just a saying that people say or what, but like, I found my white whale. And that usually, I think, again, I could be totally off, but I think in a movie they were talking about, I want to find that white whale. And it was like the perfect client or the perfect like business opportunity. It felt very businessy in the movie. Maybe I can Google it, because it's like on the periphery of my awareness. Let's see. White whale client. Let me just type that in and just see what comes up. Oh, what is a white whale in sales? See, I guess I wasn't totally off my rocker. In terms of sales, a white whale, or simply whale, is a lead that has the potential for bringing enormous sales and revenue to a company. Well, hello, Tanya. You have 2 of them. Hello? Hello? Oh my God. Yes. I'm weird, but you already knew that. For years now, you've known that. Yeah, term used to describe a potential client or customer who's a particularly difficult to win over or to persuade to make a and then dot dot dot. But I see you not only one of them, but two of them. And it's not that you have to work to persuade them. They're almost like, take my money. Like they're coming after you in a good way, not in like a predatory, stalkery way. Like they're finding you somehow and like, take my money. Like you're exactly who we need for the job. Um, and this, especially one of these clients may just come from a really surprising source. This could be a friend that passed your information along. This could be just a random, like someone maybe was talking about your company in a good way on Reddit. Like you just never know how people are going to find you out there these days. But look at this. Somehow some surprising way, and there may even be some surprises that like the universe doesn't want to spoil these fun surprises, but let's just see, because there's at least two of them, at least two. I look like I got like light infused gang tattoos on my face. Sup. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's see, at least if we can maybe crack the code of surprise here for how one of these clients is getting brought to Tanya. Okay, so they may have somehow suffered a loss or having to let a lot of people go, and they need you to help them with their bookkeeping or their accounting for how do we move forward now. But I actually see this company building back better. Is that even I've heard that before somewhere. Build back better. Is that like a Trump slogan or something? I don't freaking know. I'm hearing build back better. And this is a company that's like struggling right now. They may have to lay a lot of people off or make some massive adjustments, but they're going to find their way back to being top dog in their, with whatever it is they're doing. Remind me, I think you're doing legal accounting specifically. So they may have to downsize for a moment, but then they will be bringing new people in over the time that you are working for them. Yeah, this feels it's interesting. It's almost like being able to take advantage of a bad situation. It's not that you're taking advantage of it, but the universe is taking a seemingly bad situation and directing these people toward you because you're going to be like this bright sunrise on their horizon that is going to change the game for them in some way. And they may even be the ones that are like, oh my gosh, she saved us. Like, you don't even know. You need to hire her for your service, for her services for your company. Like you don't even know. You need her. So it almost feels like certain clients are going to also bring you other clients because of how competent and skilled you are in what you do and how much like value you provide for them. They want to shout it from the rooftops. So it's almost like one white whale brings you another white whale. It's kind of how this feels. All right, what else does Tanya need to know? With opportunities. Okay, and then there may be kind of a slow burn opportunity here, or just something that you're kind of slowly implementing to bring just long-term stability and abundance with your business for your life. And this is also a good sign, like any business reading, career reading, if you get this card, this is a good thing. Yes, there's the dreaded P word with have a little bit of patience. Whoa, did you guys just see that orb? Did you just see that orb? I saw something go like, well, it's more for you guys like that. I don't know. Maybe those of you that are watching right now, you can kind of just scrub back like 5 to 20 seconds and see if you see it. Tell me I'm not crazy. I saw something fly right in my vision. Okay, you saw it too. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay. Normally I'll see this stuff out of the corner of my eye, but when I see it like front and center, Tanya, this feels like your dad's energy, to be honest. I know his funny little snarky energy. Well, you are crazy. I mean, I never denied that. So you got me there. Hi, RM, welcome. Ooh, 2 orbs. I only saw the one, but like here I am trying to get this information going. So apparently your dad's wanting to hijack the reading here to see we're gonna go to Modern Witch to see what is it your dad wants you to know. I think we've really established though that things, just going back to your little 1-card pull reading, 2-card pull reading we did earlier, that you actually are onto something and trusting your intuition. knowing when to prioritize certain projects or clients or whatever, just trusting your intuition in your business, at home, with your projects, all the things. She went back to check it. There you go. That was crazy though. Very cool. You have a lot of support here in spirit, but let's just see what your dad has to say because he wants to take a front row seat. Ooh, okay. Look at this. Double towers. Okay. I, for one, am not afraid of this card whatsoever because it's one of my life cards. It's a 16 card. It adds up to a 7. I'm a life past 7. Chariot and the Tower are my cards. Take the good with the bad. So this really is, though, this is feeling more like an internal tower for you to be able to detonate or slough away what's not serving you so that you can step into that greater version that feels more stable, more secure, especially pairing it up with this. And any setbacks you may have had or any fears of recession, all this fun stuff, you're almost somehow like recession proofing yourself in a way. And your dad is kind of acting as this, like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like guardian angel or guide of some sort to kind of highlight something that's maybe not in your best interest and really help you with your intuition to like really be able to trust it because it feels very strong. And you can almost sometimes just randomly have him pop into your awareness. That's not your brain just randomly like generating your dad's energy. That's your dad's. I got chills. Oh, Uncle Jim, I miss you. That's your dad stepping in to say hi. I love you. You know, you're my favorite daughter. Like he used to say all the time. You know, all the fun things. He was fun. He could be owly, as grandma used to say. Oh, she's owly. He's owly. But I love that about him. He was kind of a grump, but I loved that because he also had a really like dry sense of humor that you just like, are you joking? Are you messing with me right now? I could appreciate that about him. He was very fun in that way. But yeah, that's what he's saying is if there's any worries you have about like this economy and, you know, just stuff going on with that, he's almost bringing through this fact that you may just be recession proof somehow, or you're securing yourself. Yeah, look, you're very in charge here. And this is the father card. So like, boom, major confirmation. Your father is here to give you this message. I love it. Mardell saw 2 small orbs like coming off your fingertips. Wow. I'm going to have to, I wish I knew what timestamp this would be. It was at least a few minutes ago, but I can go back. I'm definitely going to go back and see because I felt like this building of energy and then I saw the orbs and I was like, oh my God. Normally I more feel them or sense them rather than see them. So when I actually do see them, it feels very special. I love it. I more see them like at night, like in my room, like, I don't know. It's a weird like static electricity almost vibe that I see in the dark. Not usually like middle of the day. Like, I mean, not that it's middle of the day. It's pretty dark in here, but you know what I'm trying to say. But yes, you're going to be very in control or detonating your own tower, so to speak, Tanya, that you're going to feel very invested in what you're doing, but also almost kind of detached from the way the whole rest of the economy or other people are running their business. Like you just feel almost safe in this bubble that you've created for yourself. Oh, around the 1 hour and 10 minutes or 11 minutes. Thank you, Amber. Sorry. Very shy. I will get it. I mean, it literally says it on the screen. Old habits are going to die hard, but I'm going to figure it out. Oh, it was right when you joined. Oh, that's so cool. Any other closing statements from Uncle Jim or Tanya's father, because that's who he is to you, Tanya, from your dad? Aw, yeah. He just sees you as this like very fierce business lady, but can be very in her feminine energy when she needs to be, but she's not afraid to stand up for herself, even though that sometimes can be hard for anyone. But when you need to communicate something very business-like, not having to put emotions behind it, you know, getting what you're worth from certain clients, or hey, actually there was a mistake here. You don't owe this small amount. You actually owe this larger amount, and being able to like navigate conflict of any kind in your business, any discrepancies, any miscommunications. He's just letting you know you got it. So amazing. I love it. So what a cool message. Your career reading turned into your dad coming through to give even more advice, letting you know that, hey, I'm literally here. The Emperor, the Father card right here. Let's just go to the Money Moves Oracle and get a closing statement for Tanya. And then we're going to move into Kirsten's series of questions. All right. Anything else Tanya needs to know from her dad or from her own spirit or just in general? What does Tanya need to know? And we have endings. The cycle is over. It's time for you to make a change, rebirth. It's time to say goodbye to the way things have been. Again, this goes in alignment with the 2 tower cards you got in this reading. Those are endings, but they don't need to be an end all forever. Because every ending is a new beginning. So maybe letting go of those maybe non-ideal clients has freed up the space for you to build a foundation with those new clients. And that's exactly what you're doing. There may be a needed vacation. So start a perfect vacation, enjoy the freedom. It's time to recharge. This could even be a staycation. Maybe you're just focused on some things around the house, but find that work-life balance in the meantime. I just saw Sweet Success on the back. That was very fun. Should have grabbed it, but oh well. Sweet success is coming your way. And then we have gift. Aww. You will discover new talents that will lead to new opportunities. Use opportunities that arise. And again, that's about you just trusting your intuition or just being very aware, Tanya. And you're going to be able to take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way because you're ready for it. You're not caught off guard. You're not like hemming and hawing and unsure of what you want. No, you're crystal clear. Let's move forward. Let's do this thing. You're able to take those opportunities because you put in the effort to figure out, well, what opportunities do I even want coming my way? And once you see them or they kind of make their appearance, you're going to very easily be able to like, yep, mine. Thank you, universe. Yes, let's do this thing. All right, Tanya. I love you. I miss you. Thanks again, Mom, for donating for Tanya's birthday. That was very sweet of you. All right, let me catch up on a few comments and we're going to get into Kirsten's readings here. Let's see. Yeah, 2 small orbs. Dad showing up as the orb. I have chills. Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Manny and Deli. Love you both. I love you, Tanya. Best of luck. Not that you need it because you've figured a lot of things out here. Maybe even through trial and error over the years, you've kind of decided, no, this isn't for me. Ooh, this would be better if I had more of this. Like you're fine tuning your business in a way that you maybe haven't been able to do or reach before. Now's the time. You're really fine tuning things. And, you know, it can be scary out there for people these days with the way things look out there, but you don't have to sign up for any of that garbage. You can just be in your own little bubble, in your own little timeline, live in your best financial future life, you know? Who cares what's going on with everyone else? You're going to find your way forward very easily, mind you. Not easy as far as, I mean, it's easy because you're going to know what to do. You're still doing the work. Obviously, it's not just going to, you know, we don't have those little Cinderella mice that come in and do the work for us. You're still doing the work, but it's like easy. You know what to do, and you just take the next step forward. So keep it up, Tanya. I love you. Oh, you started talking to a guy tonight. Very exciting. Very fun. All right, let's go up to your first question. And I know you wanted to change. Was it your second question about the church? Just give me a bit of clarity if you could about which question. I know you had mentioned up here, maybe. Let me see. Let me just scroll back and see if I can figure it out. Okay. Yeah, changing the last question about John interested and he'll ask you on a date. Is that the one you want to change? Let me just make sure. Get more water here while I try to figure this out. Okay, so the John question, wanting to change it to what I can do to improve my chances of becoming financially independent. Let me just make sure I got that right. Yeah, he said he's just looking for friends. Okay. Yeah, so the one about John, you want to change it to the financial question. Okay, gotcha. Let's do it. Okay, so we'll start with the first one. So, and then that last one in this lineup here, we will change to improving chances of becoming financially independent. Okay, so first question we have, should I quit or take a break from grad school? I've been feeling burned out. I'm not sure I should continue, even though I feel like I should. I just feel like I've run myself into the ground. I'm already hearing a blaring, take a break, take a break, take a break. I'm already hearing that very clearly. Intuitively, your body's already telling you the answer. You know, you feel running in the ground. Even if it is something you were once or still are passionate about, that doesn't mean we can't sometimes just feel that burnout or feel a little overwhelmed or like, oh my gosh, this is just maybe too much for the season of life, but maybe I can pick it back up later. Or maybe that break finally gives you the time and space that you need to get the rest and relaxation you need to realize that maybe that's not even the direction I want to go anymore. I mean, not saying that's the case, but like as an example. So yes, let's tune in. But I'm already getting a pretty clear yes. Yes, literally listening to your intuition, listening to your body, allowing your emotions and the way your body feels to help you make these intuitive decisions for your future. Oh my gosh. But wow, what a story this is telling. This is beautiful. Yeah, and I feel like this change or decision to kind of step back from grad school for a bit, it kind of already is like if you were to look at the astrology or have like an astrology reading by someone, they're looking at your chart, they would say something like, "Oh, it looks like maybe you're taking a break with your studies right now," or maybe now is not the best time to be working on your studies. It would be pretty clear in your astrology the reason you're feeling this burnout or need to step back. So don't feel like, oh, am I making the wrong choice? No, you're making a very clear right choice for yourself because it's going to bring alignment and happiness, balance. We have 2 cards of balance here. Look at this. The King of Cups is about emotional balance. Temperance is about spiritual and material balance. So you have your emotional balance, being able to basically navigate life by tuning into your body, tuning into your intuition, your feminine energy to let you know that, yeah, I am burned out. I do need to try something new or just step back and maybe focus on this other thing for a while, whatever that looks like specifically. But this actually is going to lead to a lot of happiness and a very clear new idea or way forward for you. And I'm seeing in my mind's eye by May, there's a major shift to where you're getting this clarity or just decisiveness about yourself that like, I know exactly what I need to be doing. And I think this energy kind of peaked in at one of your more recent readings. Like your clarity's coming. It's coming very soon, Kirsten. So be on the lookout for that around May. Could happen before, or you're kind of getting like intuitive nudges in a specific direction or away from certain other specific directions. But it's bringing you the clarity that you've been seeking for a minute now. And also some happiness, just being able to step out of this kind of depressive energy that's maybe kind of been like that cloud with the rain that's been following. I think that was Amanda F. that kind of got that message. But we can all kind of get in these funks with like life or just feeling like, oh, I don't know if this is my way forward, or especially when we don't feel like we're in alignment with our true spirit or our true path or what truly lights us up. But when we get in alignment with that or step away from the things that maybe aren't quite producing that in our life, it gives us the space to actually feel what will resonate or fill up that space. So the sun is definitely coming here, and like the sun will come out tomorrow, that song from Annie. I'm really feeling this, not like literally tomorrow, although, hey, you just started talking to a guy, so maybe the sun is somehow also coming out tomorrow. Like a lot is going on. Just reminder for all you out there that are just getting into a relationship or starting to meet someone right now, it's Venus retrograde. So not saying that it can't work out. It totally can. But just realize this person may be from your past or past life. If you never met this person until literally tonight, Kirsten, this could be someone from a past life looking to close out some karma or do something with unfinished business. I know this has nothing to do with your grad school question, but it's somehow coming through to let you know. Have fun, chit chat, get to know each other. I want to say April 3rd or 5th, Venus is going direct. So it's not that far away. I mean, you can spend a few weeks getting to know someone and just kind of get a vibe and see if they're for you or not. Now we can pull this up. There we go. Okay, lighting is better. The sun is now right behind the mountain. So we're going to start getting dark here, and it's 7:30. I love when it's 7:30 and still light outside. That is my jam. I don't like when it's dark at 4:30 p.m. here in the north here. But basically, yes, Kirsten, taking a break from grad school is your best bet. That doesn't mean that you have to decide right now that you'll return or not return. That can be a delayed decision for future Kirsten to worry about. And it's not even that you have to worry, because I'm really seeing the sun is coming out and drying up all the fog and the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. So the clarity you're getting by taking that break that your body and your mind are really wanting for you, by taking that break, you're going to be able to get the clarity that you've been seeking for your direction or your way forward. You're going to get that clarity to know this is my path. It may be that you are maybe after a semester or two returning to grad school. It very well could be. But it may be that you're going a different direction. And none of that is wrong. And the fact that you spent X amount of semesters or years in grad school, none of that is wrong, even if you decide I'm going a completely different direction. Because every step you've taken on your path has led you to where you are now, where you'll be in the future, where you'll be in the future after that. So nothing is wasted, nothing is a mistake, nothing is wrong. So, even if it costs you a lot of money, I'm sure grad school costs quite a pretty penny these days, don't beat yourself up or feel like you made a mistake, because no, this somehow led you to where you are or where you will be going. That nothing was wasted, nothing was a mistake, okay? All right. So let's get into the next question. Okay. Put all these back and we're going to get right in. I'm going to turn over to the Cozy Witch because that's what's calling my name for this question. So we're going in. Okay. Quick drink of water. And here we go. So, which church should I commit to going to? Holy Spirit, Catholic, Love City, non-denominational Christian, or Latter-day Saints, Mormon? Okay. Let's just ask the cards. We'll pull a card for each one. So card 1 will be Catholic. Card 2 will be Love City, non-denominational Christian. Card 3 will be Mormon. Okay. All right. So card 1 is, drumroll please. Ooh, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So there may be something you're gaining from the Holy Spirit Catholic Church. Hard work paying off. So maybe you're getting some epiphanies or some aha moments by attending this church, learning something here, or something the bishop, minister, pastor, preacher. I don't know what the Catholic ones are called. Apologies. I want to say bishop, but no, I think that's Mormon. Bishops, I think. I don't know. Vialism, bishops, 21 Pilots. No, just kidding. But your hard work will pay off, or there's something you're gaining from this. There's something you're definitely gaining. As far as the non-denominational, this is just in what I'm seeing so far, this is the clear winner. The non-denominational. It feels to me like it's the least likely to contain you or try to kind of funnel you into a specific way of believing or thinking about whatever God means to you. This leaves more open for interpretation and would allow more for your spiritual gifts, spiritual practices to shine. I'm also hearing Christian mysticism. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I don't even know exactly what that is, but it's coming through. So I figured I'd mention it. Being part of the Love City non-denominational Christian church would allow you somehow to get into Christian mysticism, or would inspire something about Christian mysticism. I just heard Christian witch as well. Like, we're using Cozy Witch Tarot. We were using the Modern Witch Tarot for your other question, but I know there's like a sect of being a witch that's Christian witchery, Christian witches. I don't know. So something like that might spark. But it says here, have faith that healing is in the forecast. So you may get some physical healing by attending this church. I mean, you never know where healing is coming from these days. Like, you could be healed just watching a plastic bag go in the wind, like on that movie American Beauty. Like, I think that like brought up some childhood trauma for that guy that was like filming it and was so touched and led to like film that. That guy was kind of different, in that movie, but he wasn't the craziest, weirdest guy in the whole movie. But yeah, anyway. And I'm really looking at this little puddle in front of her. It's almost like something is reflecting. This Love City church. I've talked about it longer than the other one. It feels like the clear winner here, but let's also... Okay, what do we got? 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so there could still be... It says, every blessing you give will eventually be returned to you. Now, I have my own personal biases against or just in resistance, potentially, to the Mormon Church and the Catholic Church, just because of the fact that my mom's dad's side of the family were like very early beginning Mormons before Mormonism was a thing. They were like her dad, who she met just a few times. She was never a Mormon herself or raised that way. But her family was very big on that. Look up Dudley Levitt. We were talking about Dudley more earlier, so like it's night for Dudleys. Very weird. But yeah, it's very interesting. Tanya's grandfather also, because my mom and Tanya's mom are sisters. So we've kind of been in the Mormon scene just like as a result of birth, year after year, but none of us have been in the game, so to speak. But there's a lot of, I don't know, cultish kind of behavior that can come from that, I guess. Not to say that the actual Latter-day Saints church is that way, but there can be different sects, not sex with an X, but CTS of Mormonism that can be more like the fundamentalist Mormons and like the Warren Jeffs, and like, as long as you feel like you're not joining a cult, I'd say that follow your intuition with that. The Catholic Church, I mean, we've all heard of the Catholic priests. That's what they're called, priests. See, bishops are Mormon, priests are Catholic. Gotcha. Just with that whole vibe and the fact that the Vatican pretty much runs the world, like craziness with that. But again, that's just my own personal stuff coming in, but the cards have spoken. So you are left to choose here. But I would say if you need a choice as a result of the reading, the clear winner would be the Star, which is the non-denominational Christian church. And let me just scroll down, make sure you didn't have any. Yeah, you do have, I know there are like, very early Catholicism was actually very much based on like, animist and pagan, like, folk magic. Absolutely. I see your comment there. But let me just scroll down. I want to make sure. So let's see. Yeah. Tempted to buy one more card pull, but I don't want to overwhelm you. No, you're fine. You're fine. If you need to, that's totally fine. I relapsed with my depression. Oh no. Back on medication, specifically Lexapro. Yeah, I've heard of that before, but I don't know specifically what it was. Yeah, I might take the summer off. Not sure yet. I just need to look at my finances and how soon I need my loan money. Gotcha. Divine Feminines are feeling an urge to do self-care, self-love. The eclipse portal is very potent for healing. And so rest is paramount, along with connection to nature and listening to our body. Absolutely. Love it, Versha. Thank you for sharing. Vacation the last week of April. So funny seeing that it's light where you are and pitch black here. Yeah, and it's like 7:38 p.m. where I'm at. I don't know if you're like time zones ahead of me. I'm not sure where you are in the world, but yeah, it's still, I mean, it's not bright by any means, but you can kind of see where the sun is dipped behind the, I'm dumping stuff on the floor. Yeah, you can kind of see where the sun has gone. And we kind of have some cloud ship action out there. Look at that. I see a lot of cloaked ships out there. Do you see them? Do you see them? Wow, they just keep going and going. Wow. A lot of ships out there. Cloud ships. Very cool. Okay. It was these. This is what fell. No. Where's the stack? Oh, it's right here. It was this stack that fell. Let me pick it up before my kids walk all over it. Because that's been known to happen. I will deal with it later, but I just want to pick it up off the floor. Stack it over here out of the way. Okay. So let's catch up on comments here. Yeah, vacation. Funny seeing it's light. Yeah. Sun entered Pisces yesterday. Pervadic. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it's going to be there through this next solar eclipse coming up. And we have, let's just do a quick little break and check in with the whole astrology. And I will let you guys know what all's going on in Pisces. Per Vedic astrology, remember. Western astrology is a little different. You can follow one or both or either. It's cool. No one has to pick sides around here, but I'll just kind of let you know what's going on in the sign of Pisces per Vedic astrology. It's about 24 degrees behind Western astrology because it stays fixed to the constellation or the fixed stars. For example, Aldebaran, which is the eye of the bull of Taurus, is actually in Gemini for Western astrology. But if you actually take your eyeballs outside and look up at the sky, you find Orion's belt. I got it right here on my arm. Cannot see it in this lighting. You still can't see it. There's 1, 2, 3. That one's kind of faintly, not very dark, but you can kind of see it. 1, 2, 3. There's my Orion's belt. Find Orion's belt up in the sky and then look just kind of slightly down. You'll see almost this V shape. That's Taurus the bull. Well, in Western astrology, the eye of the bull, the red Aldebaran star, is in the sign of Gemini. But if you take your eyeballs and look, you can clearly see it's in Taurus. That's why I just gravitate personally toward Vedic astrology, because it's the actual, right now, when I look with my eyes at this moment, I see it in Taurus. If it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck, sounds like a duck. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's go to current right now, time, open. No, I don't want to open. I want to start a new file. I'm in my Parashara's Light Astrology, and it's like a super old version. I think I got this back in like 2016. So it's been here a minute. There's definitely newer versions, but I have not upgraded because I bought it when you could still buy things without having to pay subscriptions. And I'm too stubborn to pay subscriptions. So new. Not that you guys care about all that, but I'm just venting, I guess. Okay, so let's go to United States, Montana, since it's where I'm at. We'll just get a snapshot of right here, right now, where I'm at. MT, Missoula. Okay, and we got the right time and date going, so let's draw up a chart. So if you were born right this second in this town, you would be a Virgo ascendant with the South Node, or K2, in your first house. And in your 7th house, or the sign of Pisces, for the sake of what we're doing here, we have Rahu, Sun, Neptune, Venus, Mercury. The moon will be there on the day of the eclipse, and within an hour of the eclipse, Saturn will change signs from the sign of Aquarius into Pisces. Holy shit. I try not to swear on here, but like, that's a lot of action in the sign of Pisces. Some may argue we've moved into the age of Aquarius. I'm more in the firm belief that we're still very much rooted in the age of Pisces, because look at the world out there. Maybe you yourself are in the age of Aquarius somehow, but like the world at large, look at it out there. There's still war, there's still stabbings and bombings and shootings and all sorts of violence. We are not solidly in the age of Aquarius. We're definitely feeling it, but we're not there, if you ask me personally. But the crazy thing is, Saturn, within hours of this eclipse, and the crazy thing is, okay, so this eclipse, all those planets, those 7 planets that we just talked about, including Saturn, that will move in an hour after the eclipse. So that's Rahu, or the North Node, the Sun, Neptune, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, and the Moon, are all going to be looking at their 7th aspect or opposition at K2, or the South Node. Also, Mars is aspecting. With its 4th aspect in Vedic astrology, Mars is also aspecting K2. Holy shit. Sorry, again with swearing. And also Jupiter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, Jupiter aspects it's from the 5th, 7th, and 9th aspect from itself. So Jupiter is also aspecting the South Node. And Saturn, like I said, is moving within an hour of this eclipse into the sign of Pisces for the next 2.5 years, per Vedic astrology. It will, go retrograde and back, but it will be solidly in the sign of Pisces that whole time, I do believe, until sometime in 2020-something, 2027, 2028, somewhere. 2.5 years-ish from now, it'll be in the sign of Pisces. So basically, Saturn comes in as that like karmic ruler to set the tone. This eclipse is setting the tone, and everyone's pointing their purpose and potential and energy at K2, or the South Node. When the South Node is involved, you cannot predict what's going to happen. It is the least predictable of anything out there, because it is the tail of the dragon. or the demon. It's very, very inconsistent, or just you can't catch it. It's like a vision in your peripheral that you can't catch. Which could be a good thing if we're talking about the Matrix collapse. I mean, if anything is pointing to a Matrix collapse, this would be it. Like, if you ask me of any alignment I have ever seen in my life, but again, because K2 is so slippery and nebulous in such a way that we can't really define it a lot. I mean, it can represent absolute grief and destruction and chaos. It could also represent absolution from this Matrix, nirvana, self-realization. It's a very spiritual planet. It's not a planet. It's a calculation of a node of the moon. But it's also, it can give you the most, or it can take it all away. Like, what's going to happen? And it might be a mixed bag for everybody. It's not going to maybe just be this one big thing that we're all dealing with. It could be really good for this person over here and absolute devastation for this other person over here. And you just never know how it's going to shake out. But that being said, Saturn normally being the one, now that it's going to be in Pisces an hour after this eclipse on March 29th, stepping in to join the party, it's also kind of passing the torch to K2, or the South Node. And I don't know since 2016, when I first started looking into Vedic astrology, everything, I've never seen Saturn give its power away like this. That could be an amazing thing, because we could say Saturn is the Matrix, or the construction of it, or the upholder of it, the karma keeper, the reincarnation trap itself. You could call Saturn that. And when Saturn comes in and has to literally surrender to K2, or the South Node, this could be a game changer. Like, I'm not going to lie. This is exciting. But I'm also kind of nervous. Like, what? I got chills right now. Like, what's going to happen? I don't know. Like, no one can predict what's going to happen, because K2, it's unknowable. It's unfathomable. Like, this could be the very best thing, very worst thing, something in between. Like, I don't know. Very cool, very crazy, I'm just going to sit here like Michael Jackson meme eating my popcorn in the Thriller movie or music video. That's just going to be me. And as detached as you can be as possible, K2 is all about detachment. That doesn't mean you don't care. It just means you're not sitting here expecting a specific outcome, which is very hard when we're full of judgments and need this to happen, or if you don't do this, I'm not going to do that. If that's how you live your life, you're going to be, this is rude awakening right here. Next 2.5 years. Pretty sketchy with some rude awakenings here with anyone who's very attached to a job title or a relationship that defines them, or, maybe, again, kind of like in alignment with your art, wearing your heart on your sleeve, hoping or wanting accolades for your job well done, because you may be disappointed across the board, or you may get everything you want. Like, you just never know. All right. I just had to make that side note, because this is a big deal. Like, this is huge. Like, the last time that this eclipse has happened in this way, not even with this many planets, but I think 4 of these 7 planets were in this very same alignment back when the exact day that Martin Luther King was shot. I have chills. And that was like a game changer for like the way the world was after that. Like, Martin Luther King was already fighting for very specific rights for people of color at the time. And we all know, like, at least on the surface, it looked like, big wins were had after that. I just, fingers crossed, hope nothing really devastating like that happens again, but I would love the fallout of people's rights being returned to them. That would be amazing. Like, just having more rights that you are sovereign and born with, but then are just taken away without you even knowing they were your right to begin with. Let's hope. Let's hope some good things happen and not too many bad things happen. But, this is the Matrix, so, like, get your popcorn out. Yes, I do have more donations. We're going to get into Kirsten's 3rd question, and then she has a couple more, and she said she wanted to donate for another one. through PayPal. So we have at least one, maybe two in PayPal for Kirsten after Kirsten's one card pull. Because yes, we've done 2 of Kirsten's current 5, but potentially 6. I'm working my way downtown, walking fast. Working my way down the list. Okay. So she's changing this last question about John being interested, and he had told her earlier he just wanted to be interested as friends. So let's take a quick drink, and we're going to get into Kirsten's next question, which she's changing to what can I improve? What can I do to improve my chances of becoming financially independent? Okay. What can Kirsten do? Tuning into Kirsten's true spirit. What can Kirsten do to become financially independent, to improve her chances of becoming financially independent? Wow. Okay, so she's about to go on a trip. There may be some big epiphanies because look, we have the swords on the bags there, and each of them has an ace of swords, which is about clarity. I know you had mentioned about having your solo trip at the end of April. And I had mentioned in an earlier reading here that there's clarity coming in for you as far as direction forward coming in May. So what I'm seeing, Kirsten, very clearly is as a result of you going on this trip in April and then going into May, there's something that's shifting in your energy as a result of you going on this trip. So this trip is a very important catalyst in your financial future here to you becoming financially independent. And the 6 of Swords is about communication. Online specifically, a lot of online media, commerce, that kind of thing. Communicating in new and improved ways. Maybe you're improving the way that you communicate with the world or finding better ways to communicate. But it says, all aboard witch, it's time to write a new chapter. Maybe this is even bringing out skills that you didn't realize you had. Because every time I get the 6 of Swords, I think of the 3rd house in astrology. It's very communication, short distance travel, media, skills with your hands, courage. I mean, the 3rd house is totally about your courage or lack thereof for a lot of people, but coming out hot with the 6 of Swords here about courage. And I just heard depth. But maybe you are discovering this, talent for writing. My thing just said Azurite Malachite Sphere. 3 new listings match. For my search for Azurite Malachite Sphere. I've had that search for probably since 2018, and I've never. I should probably just delete it. But maybe you need an Azurite Malachite crystal. I don't know. It popped up, so I figured I'd say it, and it was just 7. Oh, I thought it said 757. It says 752. So maybe 752 is relevant to your life for some reason, or a good angel number you can look up. But let's see specifically about Kirsten, what she can do to improve her chances of becoming financially independent. Oh, look at this. So we were talking about a trip, and then here she is in a little travel bus. But this almost feels to me like a food truck or like a bookmobile. We were talking about writing a chapter here, but maybe somehow you're opening a business where you just drive around in a little cart or truck or van or something, and you're able to sell a tarot reading service, or I don't know, a little book library where people can not rent the books, but buy the books. Or maybe you are opening a food truck. I mean, there's potential here to start something that's kind of on the move. I mean, we can interpret this more in today's terms of, putting your stuff online, because that's very mobile and you can travel everywhere in the blink of an eye by having a shop online of some kind or offering a service online. And I have the dog here. I see this dog here, and it's about loyalty. But the 9 of Cups is about having your wishes granted, having your wishes fulfilled. And it says here, live in a constant state of gratitude. So gratitude and travel somehow seem very wrapped up in how you're going to become financially independent. Or to improve your chances of becoming financially independent, travel as much as you can. Both long distance and short distance. Because this is about short distance travel here. Although it does look like she's going on a long, far away extended trip in this card. Technically, usually the 6 of Swords is more about shorter distance travel. 3 of Wands is more about long, and the Chariot even the Eight of Wands can be more about longer distance travel, but Eight of Wands can also be short distance travel, just depending on context. um, but there's some element of travel here that's gonna at least maybe open up like dimensional doors for you or consciousness doors for you, new timelines. Excuse me. To where you're feeling very confident. But again, going back to the dog, that's about loyalty. I don't remember if I said that or not, but I was on the trek to say it. But then we have stars as well. Stars and moons, and I don't know, this kind of almost feels like they tried to draw a little Jupiter right here, but kind of not. I don't know, it just looks like more like an asteroid or a blob or something. But we got stars, we got crescent moons. Yeah, and 9 cups, which is interesting because, oh, I'm getting a download. So we have the 8 cups, and on the traditional Rider-Waite depiction, the person stacks the cups similar to this here, but they're kind of touching, stacked on top of each other. But then they left a space for that 9th cup to where you can almost interpret that card 2 ways, where either this person is just like, okay, I've built as far as I'm going to build with this person, this job, this whatever it is, and I'm just done. I'm out. I got to move on. And then the person leaves. Or you can interpret it that they have stacked everything and they're now on the quest for that holy grail or that like 9th cup to place in alignment with 4 on top, 4 on bottom. And I'm really interpreting this for you as being able to take that hero's journey. Maybe you are writing a book, fiction or nonfiction. But a lot of fiction books are about that hero's journey. They leave, they go on this quest or this journey, and then when they come back, they know they're not the same person they were when they left. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for you, is to become financially independent, you got to put yourself out there more, be it literal travel or putting yourself out there online or getting out there and meeting people. And it sounds like you're already like doing the thing with that a lot. Like you are putting yourself out there in ways that maybe the Kirsten of 5 years ago would never have thought to do or never had the courage to do. Again, courage with that third house kind of connotation with that 6 of Swords. The mental health business is more of a nonprofit venture. I needed something to do for profit. Yeah, but this could be that you're somehow combining multiple things you love into some sort of concrete business where maybe you're offering a service and maybe some merchandise and maybe, I don't know, coaching. Like it feels very multifaceted, because when I tune into the energy of what you are potentially doing to make money, it doesn't just feel usually like one thing. It feels like just like, again, like this showroom diamond that's just being turned ever so slowly, and you just see the light glinting off all the different facets, and it's just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Like that's what I see when I tune into how you're making money. It's not just one way. It's not just this flat glass disc. It's like so many different streams of income that you could just like go to bed and be making money by maybe courses that you're creating or coaching. It feels maybe like in alignment with the coaching you're doing, instead of just doing only maybe you also offer one-on-one coaching, but instead, or also in addition to, you have courses that can kind of help people with like the very 101 or basic things about what you're doing to coach people one-on-one. And then, hey, if you need help, maybe you're having this more advanced course where you are offering group or one-on-one coaching with people alongside a course that you're creating. Because courses, especially ones that you can just kind of pre-record and like an on-demand course, once you create that and upload it, I mean, you're going to pay your website fees or whatever every year, or like if you're on Thinkific or Udemy, I think is one of them. Oh gosh, I'm thinking. I have some of my courses on these tabs here. Teachable.com. Yeah, Thinkific is the one most of the courses that I go through. Clientclub.net. I guess I have a lot of different places that my different courses I've purchased through the years will host their stuff. But outside of you just paying the hosting or whatever, I don't even know how that works. I've never created a course myself. But I'm seeing you being able to teach. It's like you're combining so many of the things that you love doing. You're teaching, you're coaching, you're making kind of passive income after you create something. Like that's already combining a lot of your skills and talents. And I really do see that you can offer even things you feel maybe are kind of unrelated, kind of almost in the same business lineup or same website or something, because you're having multifaceted clients that are maybe interested in multiple things as well coming in. But travel and just putting yourself out there feel like the ways that you're kind of stepping your toe into being able to become financially independent. Let's see. Did I see Joni's analysis of our current heads chart? Don't want to name anyone, but the coming time is very difficult. Yeah, because the last time, right in the ear, it was the same alignment with, oh gosh, I forgot. Was it Mars? Yeah, I think it was Mars. Because Mars has been doing its thing for a minute. Maybe it was some other planet. Well, it definitely wasn't the North Node. It was something that has to, oh, it was Uranus, maybe. Yes, Uranus. Because Uranus it was in Taurus, and then it went back in Aries for a bit, and now it's back, just entered Taurus like a day or two ago already a bit again. Yeah, it was Uranus, which Uranus is like the totally like out of the box, off the wall, like unexpected, what's going to happen. Yeah. Oh, fun times. Mars is exactly conjunct my moon right now. I better watch my tongue and not yell at my kids and dogs and people in my life. I'm not a big yeller, but like old yeller. No, I'm not a big yeller, but sometimes like you turn your back for 1 second and you got food on the stove, and Ruth, she will get into everything. You turn your back for a second, she is on it. She has gotten so many of my lunches and dinners and breakfasts over this last year and plus that we've had her. But I might yell really loud or something like that. But like, I gotta watch it. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. The last thing I want to do is hurt anybody with my words. Let's see. Yeah, I feel I should be doing more in terms of finances. Oh, really interested in providing mental health resources. Yeah, I see you can maybe somehow combine a lot of things together. Yeah, there's so many different ways you can, maybe if you're trying to offer it in one way and no one's biting on it, or you're just kind of feeling like, I don't know how to do this. Maybe you're finding another way to package up and present what it is you have to offer. Because, you think health coach or mental health business, or, any of these things that like, okay, I got to have all this social media. I got to have all this going on. I got to have all that going on. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you can do it your own way, or just a different way than everyone else is doing. And because you're doing it differently, you're kind of a standout in your field, because you're the one doing it slightly different in a different, like you're showing up in a different space somehow. That's what it's coming through. Yeah, multiple streams of income would be awesome. Already paid a graphic designer to design a print-on-demand shirts for mental health and self-love. I love that. So cool. I want to travel internationally at some point, but can only afford to go once a year, right? And it feels to me like, Kirsten, even if that's the case, you're making the most of what you have, even if it's just a few times a year, once a year. You're making the most of it. And somehow, it feels to me like energetically, the more you're able to travel around, the more it's like the ley lines of the original grid of this planet are like activating you or bringing you abundance somehow. Especially if you're really called to go somewhere, that's not by an accident. Like you're called there because your spirit needs to go there for some sort of alignment, for your own benefit and also for the benefit of the planet, because your energy can affect the planet in a really positive way. Yeah, always feel really invigorated after vacation. Yeah. And there's a reason for that, because usually there's like novelty to some place, especially if it's somewhere you've never been before, or even if it is somewhere you've been, but it's been a few years, you're like, oh, that's different. Oh, that's different. Like you're very in the present moment. That's the beauty of being able to take a vacation, is you're very present and nothing's really going to pass you by or slip by. Those opportunities, even if you come home and you're just kind of, back in your four walls and you're kind of like bored of everything, somehow those opportunities just really stand out the way they didn't maybe before that vacation. So it is very valuable to take a vacation if you can, especially if you're someone that loves traveling. I mean, why not? Amazing. I get to see Sabrina Carpenter in concert in NYC in October. Very exciting. Is she the Espresso? Does she sing that song Espresso? I think she used to be like a Disney girl, actress. I don't know. I get a lot of these newer or up and coming. I don't think she's new, but more up and coming artists that I think she's the Espresso, and she has kind of a sexy song too. I can't remember the name of it, if I remember right. Yeah, that song, that Espresso song, I hear it on people's shorts and stuff. Like it always gets stuck in my head. Yeah, very fun. Okay, so let's go over here now to Kirsten's PayPal questions. Okay, so she has a full read and a one-card pull. So for the full read, it says, what is blocking me from feeling confident and happy? What is blocking me from being successful? Okay. Yeah, she has a sexy song called Juno. Okay, I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Very sexy. I'm like, what is this song with these lyrics? Again, I only heard part of it because it was part of someone's YouTube shorts. I'm like, oh, wow, this is a sexy one, isn't it? I don't think I've heard the full song, but I've heard pieces of it. I'm like, wow. Not in a bad way, but yeah. Very sexy song. Okay. So tuning into Kirsten's lovely, lovely spirit, what is blocking her from feeling confident and happy? So I'm already getting this like throat chakra stuff. So there's some throat chakra healing. I won't even go out and say it's a full block. It's just maybe debris that's built up. So doing some throat chakra cleansing, clearing, healing can definitely help. Yeah, I've seen some of her outfits. I know a lot of them have like beige or skin toned colored like lycra or nylon, I think. But yeah, some of them kind of remind me of some of the stuff that like Mariah Carey or Christina Aguilera would wear from time to time in different eras of their past. But yeah, she seems like a really amazing performer. I just haven't taken the time to really like look into her backlog or backlist of songs and like what she's all about. Like, I don't know. I'm just very like tunnel vision when I get on YouTube, and sometimes people will use songs. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a cool song, and I might like put it on my like little playlist to listen to, but I don't really go like learn about the artist anymore. Like I used to do that a lot. Like especially like with 21 Pilots, boy did I learn about the artists. I think I know everything about them at this point, which is kind of funny. Anyway, I digress. We pulled cards for what is blocking you. We kind of tune in already to the throat. We have the Chariot. Okay, you're being called to travel, girl. Yes, you are. Look at that. You will never get anywhere if you keep standing still. But travel doesn't necessarily mean you getting on your bike or in your car or on a plane or on a boat and traveling that way. Yes, it definitely can. But remember what we say. The physical reality and all the stuff we can taste, touch, hear, smell, see. I think I hit all the senses. They're all, less than 1% of what reality actually is. The other 99% is energy and traveling to other realms with your consciousness. So you can take advantage of free travel. You do not have to buy a plane ticket. You do not have to buy a train ticket. You do not have to buy a cruise ticket or a boarding pass. I don't know what things are called. Words. You can travel for free with your consciousness. I just heard psychic wilderness. I have a book. Okay, I don't want to roll over anything important here. My kids have... What is this? The lid to like a takeout. Okay, that's fun. Let's put that in the garbage. I mean, it was literally right by the garbage. Like one step further. Put it in the damn garbage. Okay. I know what book I'm trying to find, and I'm going to find it. Yes, Tracks in the Psychic Wilderness. I think this is an Ingo Swann. Is this Ingo Swann? No, Dale E. Graff. But Ingo Swann is very much similar to this. Tracks in the Psychic Wilderness. I'll just read the back. This just popped in. I don't know why. We're talking about traveling. This is about like remote viewing. So that's a form of travel. Let me just see. Remote viewing, precognitive dreaming, synchronicity, the United States Department of Defense using ESP to gather intelligence and information. Sounds like science fiction. Actually, that's the true story of Project Stargate. And I want to say about Project Stargate, they're calling something else Project Stargate right now, or Stargate. Something with Trump. Let me Google that, because somehow that must be relevant. And I am not a Trump fan. Let's just put that out there. I'm not any president fan. We'll put that out there. But I hear things, people talk, or you watch a video and people say things. So I've heard something about Trump and Stargate. I don't know if it has to do with Elon Musk or what. The Stargate project. Trump touts $500 billion bid for AI. Okay, so it's about AI. Okay, I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't sure. Here I'm doing the 666. I'm not doing that on purpose, I swear to God. Okay, so there's something about what they're trying to do with AI. And then I just covered my eye. You guys, I swear I'm not part of the Illuminati. I don't get paid enough. Okay. Anyway, not that I would ever. Oh my God, no. Okay, so Tracks in the Psychic Wilderness is one of man's personal and professional journey into the realm of parapsychological phenomenon. In 1975, Dale Graff was safely entrenched as an aerospace engineer and physicist with the United States Air Force's Foreign Technology Division. Little did he know that the results of one of his assessment reports on emerging technologies, AI, would be the beginning of the highly classified Project Stargate, which lasted over 20 years, still going on right now, obviously, and perhaps more importantly, would bring him in contact with his own new perspective of reality. In this riveting book, Graff shares his fascinating experiences as the director of Project Stargate with his personal odyssey following Tracks in the Psychic Wilderness. Graff also includes a final section on how to develop your own powers of remote viewing and precognitive dreaming and how to recognize synchronicity in your life. So I've had this book for years and I've never read it, but let's see what year this was published. Because they're talking about 20 years previous to whenever this was published as far as Project Stargate. 1998. So 1978 would be 20 years prior. And they're still doing Project Stargate with Trump right now. So, like, there's something here. But this is about, traveling with your, what was it called? God, can't think of words. Remote viewing. God. So there may be some remote viewing. We have here, you can't be right all the time. So even if you've tried it before and you failed, or you try in the future and you fail, that doesn't mean you can't do the remote viewing, or you can't. Again, astral projection, I would say never, please purposely do it. I accidentally do it all the time, and it's not good. If you can avoid astral traveling, don't do it. Because you do leave your body and you can be infiltrated. When that happens to me, it hasn't happened probably since November. Thank God. But boy, did I have a lot of entities to clear. Like, they just make themselves right at home the second you are left the building. But think of it this way. Someone who's unawakened is basically left the building all the time. So don't freak yourself out or feel like you've done something wrong if you are purposely or accidentally astral traveling, because it happens to all of us, I think, at some point by accident, for sure. I got one of the last tickets she booked, like 5 shows, and they're all almost sold out. I thought about going to the pit, but I have to get to Madison Square Garden at like 4 a.m. Oh my God, yeah. I don't know. I think at this point in my life, if I never have to, I've only done one pit, technically, and it was for the Godsmack and Edema concert back in 2003. Never again. I got basically molested in that thing, and that was so, like, ugh. Just the audacity that these dudes around me thought they had, that they could just grab me literally everywhere. I'm gonna say that the vibe at a Sabrina Carpenter concert is gonna be completely different. It's probably mostly gonna be girls, and you're probably gonna be way safer, but oh my gosh, never again for me. At something that's more a male audience, I absolutely would never do it again. Something like maybe a Sabrina Carpenter or something like that, maybe I would, but yeah. That could be fun if it was for the right vibe. That's just the tickets that my sister was the one, or my friend Mike actually was the one that bought our tickets, and then we paid him back. He just was like, "Let's do the pit." I'm like, "Okay." I don't know what that means because I've never been to a real concert before, but like, oh, let's do it. I've only astral traveled once and it freaked me out. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's quite the journey for sure. But speaking of journeys, another way you can travel is by shamanic journeying. If you're very unsure of how to do that, you can do a guided shamanic journey on YouTube. I'll tell you one that I vetted out for myself, and it's free of entities or any kind of hooks or barbs. Like I'm the stuff I listen to, the things that I watch, any meditations or binaural beats, subliminals, I like tune in and make sure they're appropriate. They're not like hijacked or anything like that. Not saying the person that created it is the one that's being bad or nefarious, but sometimes entities will work through people's work if they're not constantly clearing and making sure their work is clean. But let me go to my shamanic journey playlist. Okay. So these two are really good by the Spiritual Hub. I'll just show. So Shamanic Journey, Soul Retrieval, and then the Shamanic Journey connecting to your power. Those are both really powerful and really beneficial. I got a lot out of both of those. Also, if you're just looking for drumming music so you can kind of set the tone for your own journey to go and do without someone's guided voice, any of these four here, those four are really great music. And they're all like over an hour or close to an hour, so you can give yourself time. Of course, if you want to finish up way before the hour, that's totally your prerogative, but if you're someone who like wants to go in and not be pressed for time to have to restart something partway into your journey, this is a good one to try. Any of those. Yeah, that's just a good starting point. Yeah. Oh, the middle one every day during my shower. Oh, I love some of those. I listen to like weekly for sure. Yeah. I got a couple $100 off some tickets and seats near the stage. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Yeah, when you can get a deal like that, you just feel like, yes, I did it. And I still get to do what I want. But yes, what's blocking you from being confident and happy? We kind of went off on a tangent, but what I'm seeing is you actually have the room to move around energetically, astrally, with the remote viewing. These, again, even if you're like, oh, I can't do it right, or I'm afraid. Well, when you're remote viewing, you're not asleep. You're not astral traveling that way. When you're remote viewing, you're just in a deep meditation and you're always in control, always in charge at that point. So I guess the only problem probably for you would be that I'm not seeing anything or I don't feel like I'm doing it right. But with practice comes getting better and better and better at doing something. So what is blocking you from feeling confident and happy is really just getting out of your own way and traveling, stepping out of your comfort zone in so many ways, especially in like spiritual ways. Let's just see if there's anything else that needs to come through on this. What is blocking you also from being successful? It feels like to me it's all kind of wrapped up together. I'm seeing the Sun card, and I know that came out in one of your other readings here. But what is blocking you from feeling confident, happy, and what is blocking you from being successful? I just heard you're getting out of your own way. So little by little, you're peeling away the things that are seemingly in your way. They're not technically in your way, but of course, you're observing them as, oh, I have a block. I feel blocked. I'm not seeing that it is technically any outside interference. It really is just you being able to overcome limiting beliefs or, feeling broken or damaged or too traumatized from your past in some way that you could ever move forward or be successful. Because no, you absolutely can. Let's just see anything else you need to know. What is potentially blocking you from being successful, happy, confident? Because again, they all feel very tied together. 3 of Pentacles. What's the saying? Teamwork makes the spell work. This could even just be feeling that lack of support system. And that might be part of what's standing in your way is you feel that, I'm trying to make friends and it's hard. It's hard to, put myself out here and make friends. But you're already doing that. You're already putting yourself out there. You're already starting to make connections with people. But as you continue to do that and you call in that support system, that friend group, that tribe, you're gonna create that for yourself. Yeah, it is so hard to do it without help or without even someone to like vent to or have a springboard of like, hey, I have this wild idea that maybe I could, like I was telling Versha the other day, it's like, I have this idea that, so I heard, well, I'll just tell a short story real quick because this might be relevant to your case. I don't know. So they found this guy that had been out in, I don't even remember how many years. It was like 16,000 years. He was murdered by an arrow and they found him in the ice that had melted from glaciers and what have you. They found him, they brought him in and like tested, like what was his last meal? Like what did he normally eat? Like what did his gut microbiome look like? One source said he had H. pylori bacteria, which maybe he did. But they actually tested also the good gut microbes and bacteria and found that he had over 2,000 different kinds of good gut bacteria, because there's bad gut bacteria and there's good gut bacteria. So he had over 2,000 different types of good gut bacteria and microbes. Well, your average really healthy person today has anywhere between 12 and 15. 12 and 15. And someone who's really unhealthy may only have like 5 because they've been on antibiotics or they just never had a variety of foods or whatever. So your average person's out here walking around with between 5 and 15, if you're really healthy, good gut microbes or bacteria types. When this random guy that died many, many moons ago had over 2,000 different types. So that alone should tell us, like, we've been very isolated into something that was meant to be much bigger, much more connected, because your gut and brain should be communicating in much more beneficial to us ways. But our gut has been so hijacked, and our brain as well, that we're basically, so many of us are just on this like collective consciousness stream of just thoughts, coming and going. Whether we're purposely trying to think them or not, they're just coming at us, bro. Like, they're here and there and everywhere. The more you can just be in the present moment, and when you catch thoughts going by, it's not like, oh, I failed again. I guess I can't do this thing. I guess my thoughts just control me. No, because the more you just, okay, I went on a weird little thought spiral. Not going to judge it. I'm just going to come back to the present moment. Focus on my breathing. Focus on, my heart. Focus on my womb. Focus on the candle flame. Whatever it is because there has to be a point of focus. That's the whole thing. Is it's going to be almost or damn near impossible for us to just completely clear any kind of focus or thought. We got to focus on or think of or be present with something, even if it's just our awareness that, hey, I am a spirit, I am a spark fractal of God, and I am observing this room right now. That could be your point of focus. But yeah, we do feel very isolated, and it's very difficult, and they're going to be very scary. But really what's blocking you from success is just, the fact that we have all been so isolated, but yet we've been part of this like hive mind collective consciousness that never shuts up. So in that regard, we're definitely not alone, but it's weird because it's usually not helpful stuff that's coming. It can be. It definitely can be, because your own spirit can speak to you through those same thought waves, thought processes, thought frequencies, whatever we want to call them. Your own spirit can speak to you that way. Crossover loved ones can speak to you that way. Entities can speak to you that way. Demons can speak to you that way. All sorts of things can speak to you that way. But usually the really good ideas come from some sort of guardian or, your own spirit. And those really like, hey, you should really harm yourself right now type of thoughts are coming from entities and just like general AI, hive mind collective consciousness programming that's been locked and loaded down here for a minute. Let's just get a closing statement. I know I've gone on and on and on and gone off tangent, but for some reason, whatever needs to come through will come through, and I just roll with it. There's a 5 of Wands, and a good coven lets every witch have her say. So this kind of builds on that last card you had about community, about your tribe, about support. And yeah, this can normally be a very like, oh, but my way's better. No, my way's better. No, my way's better. Like, but I see this more as a, hey, we're all a group here. We're all going to listen to each other's voices, and everyone has a say here. Like, that's the vibe that's coming through with this. And I just heard there's safety in numbers, and that, look, they're in a closet. It's like they're trying to kind of hide what they're doing, not because they're ashamed of it, but because there are certain things that just need to remain private. So it could also be keeping certain things to yourself or only sharing them with very select people, especially if it's a fear you have, a doubt you have, some sort of insecurity you have. Keeping that stuff to yourself. We'll just take an example. Facebook. There are those people that every little thought they have, they will put on Facebook. I feel really ugly today. I'm going to have pork chops for dinner. Some guy at the store hit on me. Like, everything that happens, every thought they have, they're just sharing 20 plus times a day on Facebook. I have people on my Facebook feed that do this still to this day. People used to do it way back in the day where they're just like constantly, But then kind of as we kind of got used to, usually within that like, I don't know, 5 to 10 year window of having Facebook, we're kind of like, maybe my neighbor doesn't need to know what I had for dinner. Maybe that random teacher I had in high school doesn't need to know about my sex life, or whatever the case may be that people share. I've been guilty of oversharing years ago, and not anytime lately, because I'm like, I don't know, because I would do this little test for myself. It's like if I was going to post a picture or post a thought or post like a rant or whatever it was. I don't rant ever anymore at all, but I did back in the day. Not like crazy, but like maybe once a year I'd have a rant about something. But my like test was, okay, so my ex-boyfriend's mom is my friend. This guy that was the like preacher at our wedding is my friend. This guy that I probably should unfriend because he's kind of creepy, that used to like follow me in his truck in high school is my friend. Like, do I need all and want all these people knowing my business that deeply? And the answer usually was no. So then I'd just like backspace, 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 and just not post it. So that could absolutely help with your confidence and feeling successful, especially if you have monitoring spirits or kind of that spirit of delay going on, or like any kind of destiny swapping going on with people who are envious or jealous of you. If they know your plans, it's like they can somehow talk you out of them, or even if they're just kind of envious behind the curtain, somehow sabotage your plans before they even get off the ground. So keeping things private or in a very small select group of friends, or confidants or colleagues, or people who are relevant to whatever it is you want to share, that makes more sense for today's very spiritual person than just shouting from the rooftops everything you got going on. Not saying you do that, but there are people that still to this day will do that. They'll treat their Facebook like their private diary. This isn't LiveJournal. Remember LiveJournal? Oh man, I sure opened up on LiveJournal publicly as well. I was only 24. I'm going to blame it on my age. The fact that my prefrontal cortex was not completely developed back then. They're still out there if you can find it. Good luck. Embarrassing. Oh man. I feel like there's always something holding me back in fear. Yes, also lack of support, doing everything on my own with no help, guilty of putting my thoughts on Facebook. I do it in hope someone might read it and want to connect. Yeah, and that absolutely can be a valid way to connect with someone. Absolutely. But a lot of times, if you set that intention that, okay, I'm going to share this in hopes that I can connect with someone, if you set that intention, you're usually more likely to get that outcome than if you're just willy-nilly doing it. My friends list is only close friends and family. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I went through probably like 3-4 years ago and just clean slated, just random people. I mean, I used to join all these like mom groups on Facebook, and I'd like friend oh my gosh, thank you so much for your comment. Let's be friends. Like, I had close to the capacity of friends you could have on Facebook, and I'm like, no. Let's see how many I have now. I think it's like 800 and some. That's just a guess. I don't know. Might be 700 something. Let's see. I don't even know. I have 820 friends. My mom and my sister and my sister-in-law. Okay. Yeah. We only have a top 6. Not that I picked these. I don't know. Is it just random who they put on your Facebook? I don't know. 820 friends. So I guess I was a little higher than I thought I was. Not in that way. But yeah, I had a lot of people on there that I could probably delete even half of those people and feel good about it, because yeah. Oh, yeah, I hadn't changed mine in, oh God, I don't even know how long, but I finally changed it the other day, but to a picture of me from 2013, which I think is the profile picture here on this channel. Yeah, it is. See? Oh, in the picture I took in Veretta Park, which is the park next to Kurt Cobain's house. And then I added a superimposed ghosty version of Kurt sitting on Kurt's bench, and that's Kurt's old house in the background. I had fun there. Yeah. Oh, my friend Oksana. I think I sent, Versha some, videos from Oksana. She liked it, my photo. Alright, anyway, one more question, I do believe, for Kirsten. One card pull. Okay, so is there a future with Taylor? Alright. Let's tune in. Is there a future with Taylor and Kirsten? I don't know the last time I changed mine. It was like a year, and that's all I know. Oh, last year. Yeah. Well, still new for sure. Only though I took it before Wrigley was born. So, yeah. I mean, if we're talking like since 1642 or something, like it's super new, right? All right. Tuning in to Taylor and Kirsten's energy, mixing and mingling together. Is there a future? Okay. So, is there a future with Taylor? We could leave it at that, but should we say, is it in your best interest to have a future with Taylor? Because that's what we truly want to know. Is this in your best interest? Is this connection, whatever it may look like, in your best interest? So, is a future with Taylor? Let's just see if there is one. Then we'll ask if it is in your best interest. So, is there a future with Taylor and Kirsten? Okay, so 9 of Pentacles. I don't know if we did get this card for your Catholic church question. I don't know if he's Catholic or maybe you're bonding over talking about stuff with Catholicism and folk magic and Christianity or something. But let's see here. It's, this is about your hard work paying off, but it says pause and savor the results of your success. So there's potential here for success in having a future, but let's just see that it is making sure that it is in your best interest. Woo! Slippery energy. Aw, 5 of Cups. Spilled tea isn't the end of the world. So it may be that you think things are going well, but then he decides, like, let's be friends. Or, I really do like you, but, like, there's a shift in his focus for some reason. So I don't know that I don't think that it's another girl or another person, but it feels like a shifting of priorities for some reason, or he just decides to spend more time. It might be a girl. I don't know for sure. Or just the opinions of other people. Again, this is where kind of keeping things close to your chest, especially if, like, oh, I met Taylor and him and I are going to be doing this thing. And then you got some jealous person that heard that or read that on your Facebook or saw that. And now they're like, I don't know. This could even somehow be, it's interesting because your ex's energy just stepped into the chat. Let's just see why. Is this cords? What is this? Okay. So there's something he's searching for. He may be checking up on you or asking people about you. Not that he knows Taylor or even may know anything about you and Taylor being a thing, if that's the case, but he's just somehow monitoring your energy, your ex. Yeah. It's like, it's interesting why his energy just stepped in, because we've done a lot of different readings about potential for love for you with other people, and I didn't ever feel his energy stepping in with that for some reason. But here it is. Yeah, I don't know the last time. Oh, we read that. Let's see. Yeah, my ex has been in contact with my mom, and I thought, oh, this could be your mom. Maybe your mom's opinion with you and Taylor. And then somehow, because your ex has influenced him to ask, it could very well be, because I did get a very like older woman vibe rather than younger woman vibe from this energy here, or this card. It's been in contact with your mom and thought about being friends again during a low point. Gotcha. But let's just see if there's anything else we need to know. I know this is a shorter reading, but I want to know if there's a future with Taylor, and why your ex's energy is wrapped up. This could even just be, yeah, I was kind of getting like wounds from your past because of your ex. There may be certain things Taylor says or does that even if he looks nothing like your ex, he somehow maybe reminds you of him in ways, and it kind of gives you the ick and you decide to go a different direction. Not that he is your ex or narcissistic in any way. I don't get that vibe from Taylor's energy when I tune in, but there may be something he's like a quote he says or a line he says that is something very similar to what your ex would say. And then you would just be like, oh, I don't like that. We have King of Swords here. We can all learn important things from one another. Um, the energy between you and Taylor more specifically feels like an intellectual connection or more of a friendship than a romantic. But let's just see if there is potential for love here. Yeah, I mean, there can be, but it feels like it's more of a slow burn or kind of growing toward love. Is it in Kirsten's best interest? Eight of Swords is like, it may be more headache than it's worth because he may have some immature tendencies or avoidant tendencies where he wants to avoid certain conversations or just not get into it, especially when things get serious if they did between you. And it just feels like maybe that's when your ex's energy would step in and be like, oh, I remember kind of being in this weird mental battle with my ex about kind of a similar thing. And again, even though he's a very different person than your ex, you just might be like, yeah, but it does feel to me more like you're the one deciding to take a turn with this connection than Taylor, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, our first card we did have was a Nine of Pentacles, so your hard work would pay off. Whatever it is you're looking to get out of this connection, I think you can find it here. It just might come with a little bit of anxiety, stress, and a bit of headache at times because of maybe incompatibility with the way you do communicate at times. It could be the stumbling point, but it's not something you can't overcome because it feels like it could happen if that's what you want. Yeah, she might not accept him because the guy doesn't drive and doesn't have a high paying job. Okay, gotcha. And that might be that just your values don't really align because I know you're looking to like, you know, be independently wealthy and like make a name for yourself and start making all this money and like being successful. And the vibe I get from Taylor is very just like go with the flow. I mean, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but honestly, he kind of is in his feminine energy of he doesn't have a lot of desire or drive to like not saying it's like a bad thing to not want to be out here making all this coin. That's not a bad thing. But knowing what I know with your energy and wanting to like do better than maybe your parents or just how you've done in the past. And he's just kind of like, I just hear like Matthew McConaughey, like, all right, all right, all right. And kind of how in the movie Fool's Gold with him and Kate Hudson, like she was like, no, we got to get this. Like, I mean, they had just broken up at the beginning of the movie, but like he was very immature. He wanted her back. She's like, no, we got to grow up. It's like time to grow up. And like he just wanted to perpetually be a kid. It was a really cool movie. I like that movie. I kind of want to watch that movie again now. And I don't watch movies anymore that much. So like that would be a fun movie. Fool's Gold, I think is what it's called. Yeah. Where they go looking for this treasure and yeah. Not to say though, I mean that energy is very, very adventurous and fun. But as far as you needing and deserving like a stable guy who could potentially take care of you so that you can nurture your business goals or your dreams, like financially take care of you and emotionally take care of you, that's what you deserve. And I don't know that this Taylor guy could do it. I recently decided I probably don't want kids. Yeah, and that, I mean, it's funny because I kind of get a sense with Taylor, he's like, I'm cool with that. He's kind of go with the flow in some ways, not always, but there's some ways he's just kind of like, yeah, cool, cool. But at times you may want someone who's like, actually, I want this, like, and have like a desire or a drive, or like maybe you want to feel like he desires you. And you just kind of get this kind of like, boop, boop, like just a little bit here and there, but it's not like this, I want to spend my life with you. Like, I think you deserve more than what Taylor's willing to give. Because it's like the pulse, like I can feel the pulse, but it's not very strong, if that makes sense. Again, he's a lovely guy, lovely energy, but just not right for you in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's time to sleep. Yeah, it's probably time we go, but hopefully this enlightened you just a bit tonight, Kirsten. I know you had a lot going on here that you wanted some clarity on, so hopefully maybe you have to rewatch all this because I know I kind of went on some tangents and whatever needs to come through, I just say it. And if you don't feel it's part of your reading, you don't have to be like, well, now I got to do remote viewing because Amanda read that. You don't. if that just maybe was a message for someone who was just creeping and didn't even make a comment, maybe they needed that message. Maybe it wasn't even for you if it didn't resonate. That's why I say just take what resonates, leave the rest, grain of salt, especially with time frames and timelines and potential futures, because if you switch timelines, that potential future could have been on that old timeline and not on the new one. So so much is up in the air right now, you guys, that nothing is set in stone. I mean, the fact K2 is in charge over these next while, that should be both scary and exhilarating all wrapped up into one. It's a vibe for sure. But yes, Versha, good night. Thanks for hanging out with us. And to Kashvi as well. I hope she has a good night, restful sleep. All right, you guys. Yes, here for it all. Nice. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna just double check that someone didn't come in the back door here and donate. No, we're good. We're caught up. Okay, so we're gonna call it a night. You guys have the most restful, beautiful, peaceful sleep you've ever had. That would be amazing. I'm going to have that, I hope, fingers crossed, because I took the week off from work, my other work. You guys are it for me this week. I will be, reminder, I will be here Friday. Yes, my mom will be here as well. So I'm going to be live. It's a donation only live stream because we skipped that last Friday because I wanted to just hang out with you guys, So Friday will be a donation only. We'll just boom, 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 all the donations that we have. And we will be going live about an hour earlier than normal. That way I can be available when my mom rolls into town. And we'll probably do up to 5 donations. So I'll make that clear in the title and in the little chat and everything before the live stream starts. But for those of you that are here, you get a sneak peek. It'll be donation only, first 5 questions. I mean, if a 6th donation comes in, I'm not going to leave anyone hanging. You guys know me. We'll figure it out. We'll take care of it. If it's not at that live stream, it'll be at the next, whatever happens. We're not usually having this flood of people take my money. We're usually very polite and chill about it. So it's fine. I anticipate we're going to be just fine. Aw, she's happy that the tribe here knows her name. Aw, she's so sweet and cute and fun and amazing. No matter what, maybe she felt she dropped the ball with something or felt disappointed, but you can get right back up and just even if you never win another competition in your whole life, that does not mean that you're less than anyone else. But I know you, Kashva, you're going to go on to surprise not only your parents, but yourself in so many beautiful ways. So just do what your heart leads you to do. Aw. Well, big hugs, everybody. Bye, Jessica. Bye, Versha. Bye, Kirsten. Bye, anyone else still creeping in the background. Mom, are you still here? Love you. Yeah, way beyond her sleeping time. Oh my goodness, isn't it? And she has school tomorrow, doesn't she? Or is she on her break? I think you had mentioned she's still in school this week. Yeah, we're on break. So I am going to try to have a nice, lovely sleep and just sleep in. Maybe till about 7:30. That's about the latest I can sleep in with kids and dogs, and the fact that it's now bright at 7:30 a.m. now. So I can't sleep very late, but that's okay. If I have to, I can take a bath. I can take a nap because we're just going with the flow tomorrow. So, all right, you guys, bye. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Home Report Tower Live. Oh no, she has to be up at 6:15 a.m. And 6:51 is, inverse. She's leaving at the inverse, so when she has to wake up. Yeah, we have to wake up at 6:10, and we usually leave here about 7:19, 7:20 to get Boston to his school. His school starts at 7:43. Then we drive up to Wrigley's and just hang out. His doesn't start till about 8:13 or 15, somewhere in there. But I usually let him out of the car about 7:40 because I usually have to come home, feed the dogs, eat a little something, and then I like to log on my other job by about 8:20. So he usually plays on the playground with his friends for a half hour before school, which is always fun. So I don't feel too bad dropping him off that early, but yeah. 15:51, another number. So funny. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Yeah, you have a lot of that going on in your life. That's so cool, though. Very fun. All right, you guys, I already did my outro, so I'm just going to say peace. Love you. That's more of a peace than this. High five. High five to the face. No, I'm just kidding. She says he is so lucky he gets to sleep in. I know, right? Right. Well, my kids, even though they get to sleep in, they usually don't. We jokingly, I mean, we'd already called Wrigley Worm, like that was kind of his nickname for a while, but we were starting to call Boston Early Bird because he would wake up early and then he'd climb over to Wrigley's crib and wake him up, and then I'd have like 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m. on a random Saturday before either of them was in school. And then we'd just be up for the day at 4:30 or 5 a.m. So we called Boston Early Bird and we called Wrigley Early Bird Gets the Worm. We'd already started calling him that, but then when he got him up, we're like, okay, you're Early Bird and you're Worm. Thankfully, they like to sleep closer to 6:30 these days. Maybe 7 if we're real lucky, but yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I before kids, I was a total night owl, but boy, you have to get on their schedule or else, especially when they're babies and young. And both of my kids were like, let's wake up every hour because we're breastfeeding and we just want like a pacifier nipple to go back to sleep. I do miss those days though sometimes, but I'm kind of glad. I like the season of life we're in now. It's just, it feels much more like I can breathe. Like I don't feel like I'm going to accidentally kill somebody. Not like because I'm raging, but like just because like, did I heat the food too hot? Did the baby sleep too long? Like, those first time you're parent, like, did I kill my kid? Thankfully, we never dropped any kids or like any close calls, thankfully. But like, there's always that fear that could happen. That's what I'm talking about. Not that I was a crazy mom. Like I was helicopter, no joke. Outside of Boston, like getting his like well visit shots, which we no longer do, but back in the day, you did what you did until you knew better, then you do better. Not judging anyone that still does that, but we just decided not to because we have the MTHFR mutation and vaccine. I shouldn't have said the word, but you know what I'm saying. Are not good for people that have that because we can't process metals. I have a double copy. 2-for-1 special. So I actually had a really adverse reaction to the MMR when I think that's, my mom could remind me if she's in the chat, when I was a kid, and the doctor actually told her, don't ever vaccinate your kid again because this isn't good. My body can't process it. And then of course, both my boys were born with at least one copy. I've never had them tested, but they had the sugar bug vein, the lip tie, the tongue tie, they had the whole shebang. And the back dimples, those are all different signs that you have that MTHFR. MTHFR, it sounds like mother effer. And anywhere from 40 to 60% of the population has this mutation. And I don't think I've met a redhead that does not have this mutation. We're like double mutants out here, maybe triple mutants. I don't know. I say that lovingly, by the way. I was supposed to leave like 5 minutes ago, wasn't I? Now we're talking about all that stuff. But no, I'm getting to the point. Okay. Then you guys can go to bed, or you can go now. I'm not holding you hostage here, but that was the point, to say that the only time Boston cried for the first 6 months of his life were at those well visits. He did not cry once at home. Not once. The second he whimper in his little bassinet next to the bed, I was up. I was at it. Latched to the boob, humming and rocking. Yes, that boy was what do they call him? A Velcro baby? Yes, he was. He would sleep without being on me, thankfully. But when he was awake, he wanted to be on me and around me like crazy. He loved it. But yeah, he was just I was just so tuned into his needs that didn't even need to cry. Yeah, we had our own language together. I swear having him was like the kickoff of my spiritual awakening. But then we had Wrigley, which love him equally. Let's put that out there. But because of the the arm jab thingies, he got colic, as they say. That is actually a V jab injury, one of. SIDS is another one. But anyway, we're digressing. But Wrigley, I think, screamed from I don't even know what age to I don't even know what age. And nothing you could do. So and again, I'm not saying one of my kids is perfect and the other is not. They have evened out. Let's put that out there. But to have this perfect specimen of just this baby that just you feel like so complete, And then to have the exact opposite, not to say he's bad or that, but the stress involved in a colicky, if you've ever had a colicky baby that nothing you could do, you feel like the worst, most biggest failure of a mother out there. Like, and I know it wasn't because of me. He was literally like in so much pain and like, oh my gosh, like I would remind myself of that in the moment and I would feel so bad that I even like was trying to put the failure of it on me or on him. And it was just, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're sleep deprived, you get in your head. I just feel so bad for my poor baby boy. But yeah, I experienced two very different extremes of children. That's what I'm trying to say. And I love them equally, and they're both amazing, and they both have their quirks, and they both have their faults, and they both have their amazingness, and it's beautiful. Like, oh, Kashfi was initially, and my nephew was too. I've seen the episodes. Yeah, and to this day, if I hear a baby just absolutely in the throes of pain crying, it triggers something in me that, I feel so bad. Like, it takes me back to those nights where nothing would calm that poor little guy. But the best thing that would calm him that we learned actually with Boston, we never really had to do with Boston because he never needed it except at those well visits, right? Those well visits was to hold the baby, put the baby's ear here, kind of have, their butt here, and then their other ear up here, and you just and I thought, I'm gonna brain damage or like hearing loss this poor kid to hear that right in your ear. But no, they told us that at the birthing classes. And they said if you can't do that consistently because you get lightheaded from breathing and shushing so long, you can turn on a vacuum. Not to put it like close up to the head, but just having it on in the room can help as you kind of do this, can calm babies. And that would work from time to time with Wrigley, but not every time. We tried it all the time with him. And when it would work, we'd be like, yes. And when it wouldn't work, we'd be like, okay, now what? Just put him up here, bounce, bounce. Try to not, have him screaming in your ear, but having him facing out and just almost like in your own catatonic state. Oh my gosh. I just need to go give that poor little guy a hug. I forgot how hard that was for him. I mean, for how hard that was for me, that was probably 4 times as hard for him, let's balance out the characteristics of both. And now they're both very, again, even keeled as far as quirks and strengths and weaknesses. Like they're very evened out. Let's just say that. That's very true. My mind went to find out the spiritual reason behind it, right? And really, if you think about it, colic is like the gut is like to me energetically, it felt like it was being under attack. I don't know if it was like I don't know if it was, I mean, obviously it was also physical because he felt it physically, but energetically speaking, there was an attack. And his unlike Boston's belly, like Boston was like 6 pounds 10 ounces, Wrigley was 7 pounds 8 ounces, so he's already a bigger, longer boy than when Boston was born. But at the ages he had colic, the months old he was when he had colic, like his belly was much more distended than Boston's. And as far as I can think back, like nothing in my diet was causing it. Because I changed nothing with either of them, and then I even like tried to eliminate dairy, tried to eliminate this, tried to eliminate, no matter what I did, it just didn't work. So to me, like intuitively, I'm like, he was fine until the things. That wasn't even the scariest, because the scariest was at his 24-month things. I had, leading up to that appointment, I wanted to cancel the appointment, just not go and not do it, but there's that obligation, like, what if there's something wrong and I didn't take my kid and I'm the worst parent ever? No, you're not. So I took him, and I'd already kind of had that information, and I knew I wasn't gonna at that appointment. Little did I know that that's the appointment. If you, from birth to 24 months, if the pediatrician has arm marked them or jabbed them at every time they're supposed to at all these different well visits, at that 24-month, after they administer those 24-month ones, that pediatrician gets a $40,000 bonus from, I think it's Blue Cross Blue Shield. I could be wrong on that. they get a $40,000 for one child to be fully V'd from birth to 24 months. So I told her I didn't want to do that. She like scared the crap out of me. She jumped out of her chair and she's pacing. She's running her hands. He's gonna die. You're gonna kill him. And my husband didn't come with me. He had a meeting or something. He worked on campus because he worked at the hospital. She scared the absolute living daylights out of me. And she had this nurse that was in there and was just like this to me. Like I felt I was under attack, like big time. It was insane. Like you couldn't have made something like that up the way that she's like, if you don't, da, 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 da. And so I'm like in tears. My kid, Wrigley, he was crying all the time, so why not then too, was totally terrified by the situation, just started bawling, wailing. So they bring, she'd already had everything ready and was coming in. So like I felt like attacked, basically, and this one of my greatest regrets is letting them do that, but they did it. Let me just say, before all of that, he was fully potty trained before 24 months. He'd been potty trained at around 21 months old. So he'd been potty trained for 3 months, not at night, but like during the day. He had a huge vocabulary of words for being such a little guy. So after this visit, he screamed his head off, obviously. We came home. He had a fever for like 3 days, but by that next day, he just was laying there like this. He'd kind of look around randomly like, what? Like he wouldn't respond to his name. You'd like, oh, do you want food? Like he was basically catatonic after that for 3 weeks. Weeks. Completely lost his ability to potty train, or, he was back in diapers full time. He still had about 5 words out of the probably 40 that he had. Completely just went backwards. He'd fall over randomly. He'd be walking and he'd just fall over. Nothing that he's tripping on. That was all the proof I needed that I'm like, never again. And never since then have either of my kids or myself or my husband gotten any of it. Like, done. Yeah, pushed him back in vibration. I mean, implants. And he's probably, if I had to guess, he's probably got a double copy of the MTHFR mutation like I do. I'm just gonna put that. Absolutely. Yeah. But thankfully, we worked, me specifically, because I was home with him all day, but we worked so hard with him to, like, I was like, I wouldn't even call it praying, but just like setting intentions and affirmations, and just because this was right before my whole big spiritual awakening, because that was like the summer. Oh no, not the summer. This was a little over a year before, not a little less than a year before, because this was around his 2-year birthday, but we had a little bit late. I think it was in December of 2015. And I had this big, just like spiritual level up in early 2016. And then by October 2016, the full big craziness, blowing the doors off, never going back, spiritual awakening. But I think all of this helped bring that mama bear spirit warrior up, because no one's gonna harm my kids that way ever again. But yeah, it was insane. Like, but he came back full force, and like I was out trimming the trees. He was almost 3 years old, so this was almost about a year after, not quite. It was the summer, so he wasn't 3 yet. So he was 2 and some change in the summer. And I was trimming my mountain ash tree in the backyard. And I'm clipping just the little, like, kind of little stragglers that come up along the trunk to keep the growth going up rather than out. And Wrigley comes up, and so I kind of stop clipping. I'm like, what? And he like puts his hand on the tree. He goes, Mommy, the earth, it hurts really bad. And I just was like pushed to tears at that point. I'm like, oh my God. And I like hug him, and he's like hugging me, and he's like rubbing my back. And I'm like, what did you say? He goes, the earth, it hurts really bad. And both of my kids, when they were really little, would say things like, there are blue guys in my bedroom. Blue guys. They both said that, even though they were like 3.5 years apart and in different areas. And neither of them had heard the other one say that. And they both kind of had that same way of calling it, blue guys. Very interesting. Yeah, full blown started 2018 after I lost my mom. Yeah, it's so hard. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I could just keep talking. This is not fun. It's not fun to talk about these things, but it's like informative, you know? Yeah. But boy, all the stories I have over the years. Oh my God. All right, you guys. Well, now I'm official. I already did my sign off tag, so you guys know what's up. You know the drill. So I will see you guys on Friday. No, you didn't get me hung up. I feel bad because I know you and Kashvi probably need to go to bed. It's 11 o'clock where you're at. It's only 9 here. I feel good, and I don't even have to go to bed early. I'm not even that tired. I'm good. Like, I'm just gonna let you guys go. I know you're kind of like just hanging on because you like to hang out. I get it. It's fun, but yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna go. I did my sign off, so I will be back here Friday for a donation only live stream. So if you don't plan to donate, there's really no reason to come hang out unless you just want to check the conversation, maybe the first 5 minutes, and then we're gonna just dive in. If there are no donations, signing off early and just being ready for my mom to show up. But we're gonna be live about an hour earlier on Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time rather than 11 a.m. just so I can make sure I'm finished with all the readings before she rolls into town. All right, you guys. Much love. I already did my thing. Peace. And